If you have not followed his Triple H horse racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.
Good afternoon and welcome to our first episode of Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your very proud host, Howard Kravitz, along with co-host from Pacific Horse Players down in the corner there, Jackson Muniz, co-host Chris Walsh, and live from Horseshoe Indy, the host of Ben and Boozin', Mr. Kyle Roscoe. Thank you everyone for joining us on a very special day. We hope you're having a fantastic 4th of July weekend. Very quickly, you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. We have fantastic tip sheets. Look below the video player for information on that, and a great website as well, hhhracingpodcast.com. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be handicapping, analyzing, giving tickets, giving away lots of winners today, covering live racing, live video feed from Monmouth and Woodbine, and audio feed from Saratoga and Horseshoe Indy. Let me go first to Kyle Roscoe, the man on a mission. He is live on the road at Horseshoe Indy covering Indiana Derby Day. We're only a few minutes away, Kyle, from race 8, which opens the pick 5. What's up, my friend? How we doing?
Doing as well as I can be, man. It's hot outside, but 85 degrees, perfectly sunny. It's nothing better than this. As you saw, as I showed the people, we're on the way out for the Schustster Memorial. Only 5 horses. Obviously, our good boy Shard scratched out. Big plans, though, for him. The track out here, I'm sure as you guys have been watching today, very, very speed favoring. So we will see how it continues to play through the rest of the day. The turf last time had a little bit of closing on it. The 5 actually almost won the race. Last turf race almost closed up and got him. But, however, speed prevails as it has throughout this entire day.
For sure. Kyle, we're going to start race 8 here. Let me put the correct race on the screen. It's the Jonathan Schustster. You can see on this, there are a bunch of scratches. Right now, Encino is even money. I tossed this horse, Kyle. I'm trying to beat Encino. What are your thoughts here in the first leg of the pick 5?
I agree with you. I really like the number 7 Higgins Boat. I think they're going to be a little bit closer come post time. I just saw the doubles pop up on the video board. And it's just about, they're pretty close. Encino will be the favorite. And I think that's just people taking to the track. I mean, we saw it yesterday. Coppola ran 5 furlongs and 54 and 4. I mean, it's some of the most ridiculous times I've ever seen out here. Turf course is rock hard. The dirt has been playing pretty decently fair. However, still kind of a conveyor belt, but we'll see as it comes. I really do like Higgins Boat to sit right off of Encino and hopefully get by down the stretch.
Yeah, that's my top choice. I'm going 7-3-8. Let's bring in Chris and Jackson Muniz very quickly. Chris, who do you have here in the first leg of the pick 5 at Indiana, the Schustster?
Well, Howard, I'm going to say that Pauly Shore disagrees with you. The Encino man disagrees with you that Encino, I think, is going to get it done here. I'm looking at a 9-11-9-5 Dutch double.
So you're going to go with Encino on the outside, who has not been on turf, Jackson. There's other speed in the race. I was a big fan of this horse earlier in his career, but he just hasn't really gone on with it. This feels more like an experiment. I just don't like that. I think he's getting bet, Jackson, because of the name and the connections, and Godolphin, I don't understand even money, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Look, if he's able to translate back to that race that turf played 2 back when you ran into Mercante, and that was a monster effort. But that was on a synthetic racetrack. It's very different today. First time turf, there is other speed. And I agree, even money just is way too short on this horse. I mean, he's got some things to prove in here. So I went to the inside of him, Runaway Storm. I think he's a much better price. He's interesting. He also had things to prove. He hasn't been that great in a couple of years now almost, but he's only run a couple of times. I thought last time he had a little bit of trouble in the comeback race. I don't think it cost him the win or anything, but I think it's better than it looks on paper. Blinkers going back on. He's run well successfully with blinkers before. And this was a horse that once upon a time was right up there with Talk of the Nation, Integration, Program Trading. So at 3 or 4 times the price of Encino, I think I want Runaway Storm like 5-1-ish probably.
Yeah, I'm using him too. He's had a lot of big layoff lines, though. I'm not really sure he's the same as he used to be, Jackson. That's my concern. Kyle, do you think that Machado is just going to go to the front, read the break? I mean, this horse really did pass people in the Battaglia last year, horses in the Battaglia. It really looks like he wants to be on the lead, and there's other speed in here. The break is going to be huge in this race, I think.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely huge. But Machado actually did it earlier with Alpine Princess. I did not expect her. I expected her to sit a little bit off based on her running style. Machado no holds barred right to the front and never looked back. Only that was actually the race I was talking about. Only held up by half a length, but the turf has just been so speedy out here. I don't think there's any chance that Machado is going to read the break. I think he just goes, gets to the front ahead of what I believe the other speed. Both
we're having
right
some...
off, and we'll just see a duel down the stretch.
Sorry for the tech issues. Of course, Kyle's at Indiana. I'm not sure how good Indiana. I almost said Indiana Grand Horseshoe Indy. Not sure how good the internet is there. So we'll keep trying to get Kyle on here. We heard you, Kyle. You're just going in and out. Chris, Money Supply. This is the horse that's going to take advantage of a hot pace. A year or two ago, he was really, really, really good. I think he's still good. I'm using him. It's Joe Sharp. He's going to save ground the whole way. The turf is a bit speed favoring like it is in New York, but this horse might get the setup, Chris.
Yeah, he just hasn't. I mean, he's done it on dirt. He just hasn't done it on turf, right? He's done it, on a sloppy racetrack. He's done it on a good racetrack. He just hasn't done it on turf. So we're going to find out today. And back to Encino quickly. The horse is making a pretty decent drop. I mean, these are all $100,000 stakes races, as we call them. They're like allowance races in most places, right? In Kentucky and New York and even some Woodbine races. These are they're not really stakes races, but they call them stakes. Indiana goes all out on their Derby day with 13 races, and you're going to get fields like this where they're going to ship in horses that have a shot and can get a decent snag of a pretty good first. $100,000 here they're running for, so why not?
Absolutely. It looks like they are on the turf course again. Chris is going to play the sound when we're ready. Kyle, can you just real quick, 20 seconds, the atmosphere, a big crowd. How does it look out there? Kyle, can you hear us? Kyle, can you hear us? No, we're having issues with.
Am I frozen
Kyle?
or?
No, you're good. Can you hear us, Kyle? Kyle, can you hear us? We can hear you fine.
All right.
I think he's having some trouble there.
All right. Well, I'll take Kyle off the screen for right now. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead and bring up the sound. They're going in to the gate for the first race of the day here at Weekend Warriors. It's the Schustster from Horseshoe Indy. John G. Dooley with the call.
Can you hear Howard?
Double back. Alex Richard with Featherweight Storm. Cino even money the favorite. Last to go in.
All these tracks do their audio differently, and so you have to adjust the volume.
We will not talk over John G. Dooley's call, I promise.
They're in the game. And they're on. Jonathan B. Schaefer Memorial. Double clutch. Sharply win. There's double clutch coming to the forefront from Runaway Storm and the Emerald Cap. And Cino is right there as they make their way past the packed stands. Higgins, Boat, and Money Supply has dropped back to last year in the early going as they make the way toward the first turn with Alex Ashar. This Runaway Storm goes in front right there, and Cino on the outside with 6 furlongs to run. Then toward the inside, double clutch black with the gold chevrons. Higgins, Boat follows, and Money Supply remains last as they make their way to the back of the course. It's Runaway Storm. So Runaway Storm has opened up an early, really 5-length advantage over Encino, who tracks the leader there for Lamont Machado. Corey Mallory in double clutch is running in third position. With Declan Cannon, Higgins Boat is next in formation. And Encamarellas in the 10-time winner. Money Supply still trails. Runaway Storm to a half mile from home here. The Jonathan B. Schaefer Memorial. 23 seconds flat for the lead part. Half mile for Runaway Storm. 46.87. They make the way toward the far turn. Runaway Storm continues to lead Encino. Double clutch now pulled to an outside path. And double clutch is picking up now. In company with Encino. Runaway Storm by a half length coming toward the quarter pole. Money Supply up one spot with the rail, and Higgins Boat is last, but it's a toss up. 3/4 of 1 to 10.53 seconds. They straighten away. Encino for the inside. Runaway Storm tries to defend his turf. Encino and Runaway Storm, they kick for the final furlong. Money Supply, then double clutch and Higgins Boat. They come past the 16th with Lamont Machado. Encino has carried the Godolphin Blue to the front of the field, and Encino wins by a length and a half to Runaway Storm.
Bang.
Encino wins in 1:33 and 2. The 8-1 to Lee Jackson. Nice effort by Encino, no doubt about that. But I got to tell you what, Money Supply was okay. Higgins Bow was absolutely awful. No one else really ran. Encino took over. Maybe the source now has a future on the turf. Congratulations, Chris. Chris, throw that siren out there. You had Encino in the first race of the day.
I got to turn the speaker on.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Co-host fail. Well,
Okay.
There it is.
all right. There we go. Nice job, Chris. Encino, let me go ahead and bring, let me see if Kyle's going to try to, we'll get Kyle back on a little bit later. Jackson, your quick thoughts, and then we'll go to, I think Woodbine will be the next track we'll go to.
Yeah, I love the ride for the 8. I mean, try to take Encino out of his game, get to the front, make him chase, and he did, and just wasn't quite good enough. He actually ran okay. I mean, those two are clearly the best, and also credit to Encino for being able to rate, as he hasn't really shown that in quite a while. So good performance. I'd be curious to see how it comes back on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of options. I wonder if they're going to stay. I think they'll probably go to Ellis next in a stake. If I just guess, I don't think Cox is going to go. None of these horses, New York ready. Got a perfect trip, but did it well. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about his effort. I mean, he was solid, Chris. No doubt about it. He won. I mean, I was wrong. Congrats to Encino. I mean, he got a perfect trip. No one else really ran. It might be one of those better than look kind of efforts. I think Cox knows what he's got, Chris, under the hood, and they'll be smart with him.
No, I think you're right. I mean, like I talked about before the race, I mean, the drop there was going from those graded stakes races to this $100,000 race was kind of key. And, they didn't have a Luan send and kind of just sat off of whoever went. And I think that was kind of key to the victory there. But as we pivot over to Woodbine here, we got a minute to go, Howard.
Yeah.
I looked at it. Here's a good example of what I was just talking about. An allowance optional claimer, $50K, and it's got a $110,000 purse, and you've got a pretty decent sized field here, right? You've got 9 horses, and I was looking to do a pick 4 here, and when I play pick 4s at Woodbine, I don't play them for 20 cents. I always play it for $1. But I was thinking about singling the 7, but I ended up didn't playing anything. This is a tough one here. You got an 0 for a 7, a maiden that won last out after 6 losses, and trying to win back here is difficult.
I thought it's a 5 or 7 here. Kyle, we'll get your reaction right after this race. You guys can hear the audio, okay?
Next along is
All right, first live race ever shown on the HHH Racing Podcast. It's Woodbine Race 7. Robert Geller with the call. They are on the turf. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 7 with Rafael Hernandez. The 6 is loading at a short price, only 76. No, make that 80 to 1.
Right here for
we'll see what happens here. A nice 7 furlong event.
I got an entertainment play, Howard, on the 1 Shotgun Wedding.
Equal favorite. They're almost right. A little frisky and outside gate. Misdemanding for the start.
Do you have an opinion here, Jackson?
So the field is all.
Yeah, I like the 8. First time sprinting a long time, but has good sprint numbers.
The 8 for Jackson.
Off they race and a very good start. YMCA away well. Going for the lead is Flashy Motor and Mr. Manning from the outside. They've gone out in front. Away well was a little frisky.
7-5.
Near the inside, Midsummer Mo is back 5th. And over on the inside, Shotgun Wedding getting back a little bit
get a good
now.
trip here, Jackson.
Trying to make some ground is Hoshiana, and
we'll
She Loves.
Give quick comments through the race because we can see it.
Top 2 well ahead, and Flashy Motor on the inside from Mr. Manning as they come down the side by 4 lengths. Lying in 3rd, YMCA, a length and a half away. Hoshiana gaining on the group and about a half a length away in 4th placing now. Followed on the inside by Shotgun Wedding, a little frisky. And in behind them, Midsummer Mo, 4 lengths away.
7
She
has
Loves is
absolutely
second last,
excuses
and last
here.
Ambitious Lass. Traveling well in front, Flashy Motor by a length and a half, Mr. Manning. Running on is Hoshiana pretty well. On the inside, YMCA, and behind them, Shotgun Wedding working home. And out wider, a little frisky. Out in front, Flashy Motor, trying hard, Mr. Manning. Shotgun Wedding, the widest, coming on fairly strongly. The leader remains Flashy Motor. And as they come inside the final furlong, they've got to get to Flashy Motor. Shotgun Wedding issues the biggest threat. And Mr. Manning kicks on for a little frisky, but Flashy Motor in front. Flashy Motor keeps the motor rolling to win it. Flashy Motor from Mr. Manning. On the outside,
We'll take the chalk, and I'll tell you what, guys, that allows us. The one actually ran on pretty well. What that does allow us to do, let me go ahead and put us back on screen. And I got to go bring a few other things back on screen here. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring up the background. I don't know what happened to our background. Give me 1 second here, everyone. So I just do some adjusting there. There we go. What that does allow us to do is, for the first time since I personally had a winner, but if other people have winners, we'll definitely do the same thing. First, we got to play a little rock. And then...
Nice.
That's right, baby. Crush it, baby. Let's go.
Love it. Nice goal.
All right. There we go. 7-5, but hey, we'll take it right there. Chris, the one just didn't get enough pace to run into. It looked like Chris right there.
Yeah. Just quickly, in the chat, we want to recognize the folks in the chat. We do see Katie, Bob, Tom, Derek, Wiz. Good to see you, Wiz. Bob Segura. Matt Miller, he'll be here a little bit later, probably around 5. Chris Couples there. Sylvain, welcome. Davey Lane from the other side of the universe. Tony, good to see you. Tony, longtime viewer with me. Really good to see Tony here as well. We got James. We've got Bob Segura, John. Gilly Capper is John Gilpatrick, big tournament player. Always happy to see John in the chat. So
absolutely got a lot of people here. We really thank everyone for watching. It's serious multitasking, and sort of the first time we're doing a show similar to this. By the way, if anyone happens to be playing the late pick 5 at Gulfstream, there's a big carryover. Guess who's playing? No shock, I am. The 4 won the first leg at 5-2. I think it was the soft favorite, Bound for Trouble, who did not have trouble and beat the 2. So it came 4-2-6 at Gulfstream, in case anyone's playing that. I think it's 75,000 plus carryover, Jackson, at Gulfstream. All right, guys. We are next going to be, I believe, going to Monmouth, and we got to talk about Saratoga too. Actually, let's talk about Saratoga. Saratoga's got 10 minutes to post. Again, you're watching the HHH Racing Podcast, live coverage of racing across the country, more specifically at Saratoga, Horseshoe Indy, Woodbine, and Monmouth. Let's talk about Saratoga. This starts the late pick 5 in race 8. I'm going to bring up some banners on the screen. Chris, something you wanted to say there?
Yeah, this is where the tracks do us a great disservice, having done live shows for a while. Belmont and Saratoga in 10 minutes, Monmouth in 11 minutes. So
of course,
they're effectively going to go off. It'll be a coin flip on who goes first.
All right. Well, we'll decide who we're going to defer to. I think more people probably, even though we do have we have video feed from Monmouth. I think we'll play the Saratoga audio, guys. I think more people are probably interested in that. Here's the opening leg of the pick 5. It's allowance optional 75, 5.5. The rails are out 18 feet. It's on the melon. It's a pretty wide open field right now. The favorite is number 7, Antares for Maker and Jose Ortiz. Before we get into the race, guys, let me show our pick 5s on the bottom of the screen. I want to do that first. I'll go with Jackson's first. Jackson, we like to teach on this show, as you know, and talk about ticket construction. We're a little bit limited on time, but obviously each one of us should take about a minute at least to talk about our construction. His ticket's on the bottom of the screen for those of you that are listening, at least later on. He's going 1, 2, 6, 8 with 4, with 2, with 1, 3, with 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. It's a $28 ticket, Jackson. You got 2 singles, and you're tossing the favorite in last. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, so obviously you can see my better opinions are all the middle 3 legs. This is kind of the backup. The pick 5 is a backup. The pick 5 is not my main bet of the day. It'll be some doubles, some win bets, some of those bigger opinions. But as far as the pick 5 goes, this first leg I thought was really tough. This turf sprint, I thought you could go pretty much anywhere. Didn't want to settle on too short of a price, so spreading a little bit to try to beat those favorites. The 2 would be my top pick. Both rocking very, very speedy horse. We've seen the last whole week. Speed has been doing very well in the turf course, so go to the front. Hope he can get a piece of it. And then I use a couple others underneath types. 1, Title Force is very quick, is capable of being quick. 6 for Linda, an improving type. And the 8 is the obvious one, final verdict. So I'm going to try to get by with those 4. Hopefully get a little bit of a price. I'm wide awake in leg 2. there's 2 speed horses and then 2 everyone else is just deep closers. It feels like those 2 are just going to run away with this one. He's the fastest horse in the field. He's outside of his main pace rival. He's going to be a single for me. Popo right there. Intellect is a horse I've been waiting all day for. I thought he ran awesome in the poker. I mean, there was just no speed in that race. He closed from dead naked last. Big kick. He's going to be awfully tough with any kind of pace. It is a concern with how the turf is playing with the inner. At least we saw some off the pace moves earlier today, but I am going to plant my flag with him as well. And then that nitrogen race, I don't know what to do. I could have singled her too, or I could have tried to beat her. I'm going to try to beat her, I guess. Not super confidently, but for pick 5 purposes, I think you're going to be a lot more value if you do try to beat her. She's going to be 3 to 5 on the board and 1 to 5, 1 to 9 in pick 5. I mean, she's going to be on every single ticket. So going to try to beat her, and then last race is just a complete mess. Going to try to beat the favorite, spread as deep as you can, and hope for the best.
Yeah, you got it. I know, Jax, you like to try to beat favorites if you can. I mean, this is a small ticket, but it's going to pay even if I'm awake or I'm wide awake wins. And the 5 was a monster scratch in that second leg.
Yes.
I didn't like I'm wide awake until that 5 scratched. So
Agreed.
There's Jackson's $28 ticket. Jackson will show it at the end when you're live to thousands of dollars, and we can say you're right, although you might not be on the show at that point, but we'll give you credit where credit is due. Chris, my friend, you're playing at 48. I asked for about a $50 ticket. Everyone, you got a $48 ticket. Chris, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Everyone except the 9, which means bet Vinsanity with every dollar you have in your wallet, the 9, with 4, 7, with 4, with 7, singling nitrogen, with 2, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, $48 ticket, Chris.
Yeah, so just make it $50. Put $2 on the 9. That way, if the 9 wins, you get your money back. You're all good from there. But yeah, I thought the opening leg here was one where you could kind of press the all button and maybe get lucky. I don't do that very often. Leg 2 for me was using the 2 obvious horses, the 4 and the 7, and then a leg 3, going with Donegal momentum there. I hope to hit that one and kind of get there. It's on the inner turf. I'm hoping the horse uses speed because that's pretty lethal on the inner turf. And then the obvious going with nitrogen, just not trying to beat that horse. And then using a lot of the obvious ones. I mean, most of these, it's the top 4, morning line-ish. It's the horses, and then, a couple of bombs in the 9 and the 2 there, just in case. But for $48, that's something I can afford, and I'll lean into races 9, 10, and 11 with some doubles and pick 3s. It'll be pressed and whatnot, and if I don't hit the pick 5, that's fine. But I can kind of set myself up for a decent score there.
Yeah, the ticket strategy is very interesting from all 3 of us here. You'll see my ticket. I'm going a different direction with strategy. Of course, everyone at home, do whatever you think is best. It's not easy to hit pick 5s for $50 or lesser in that area. You can see my ticket, guys. I got a little strategy. Look, turf sprints are a cluster. Okay, we all know it. I'm gonna be a little risky here and just go with 2 horses. And if I lose the first leg of the pick 5, well, you know what you do, my friends. Pick 4 time. There we go. It's very simple. I'm gonna go 7, 8 in the first leg with 4, 6, 7, with 2, 3, 8, with 3, 7. With 6, 7, 11. That is a $54 tick. I'm going to go with who I think the 2 best horses that will show some speed also in this turf race. I don't trust I'm wide awake going 7, Jackson, especially if the 3 shows a lot of speed. The 4 is coming off one big number. He might win. He's probably the horse to beat, but he's got to go further. There's other speed to his inside in theory. I don't know. I just don't trust the 4 in the second leg. I'm going to go 2, 3, 8. In the turf race. I do like Intellect the most, the 2. And then I could single nitrogen, but guys, 95% of the people are doing that. I talked on the show Thursday. I think the number 3, a justified filly, is interesting, especially if size can get the lead the way the turf is playing. So I'm going to throw the 3 in there along with the 7. And really, I think 7-11, 7-11 for you craps players are really the 2 horses to beat for sure in the last race. I'll throw in Flavian, who's on a bad speed horse, but you never know. It's Flavian. Maybe that horse can get brave on the lead. So there's my ticket right there, guys. We've got about 3 minutes to post. Again, we're going to show the audio. Let's talk about this race in particular. Chris, your thoughts on this race? Who's your top choice? And I'll show some PPs here.
You're talking about Saratoga, the opening leg here. Howard, I went 8 deep. You're asking the wrong person.
All right.
who I thought my top choice was.
Jackson, you a top choice here?
Yeah, it was the 2, Boats Are Rockin'. It just feels like, again, this is a turf sprint. Speed does well. This whole week, Speed's done really well on the grass, and there really wasn't a true front runner in this field other than him. There's horses that are capable of being up there, but not consistently. He feels like the one that's going to be in front, and they're going to have to come catch him. Plenty of, look at those numbers to run back to last summer, and those are all plenty good enough to win this race. So on that too, I'm very interested in this horse on the win end, and he's 14 for 37. He shows up almost every time.
Yeah, I'm going to, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm looking to the right or while I'm multitasking here, I'm actually in the NYRA contest as well, which is why I'm not looking at the camera at the moment, trying to get a bet in here if I can. But my top play is the 8 Final Verdict. I'm hoping that this horse, let me go ahead and put that on screen. How are we doing on time? About 2 minutes, Chris? We're good, I believe?
Yeah, we're
okay
probably got a little bit more than 2 minutes here.
Okay. My top choice is the number 8, as it looks like I'm able to get it on screen. By the way, anyone who's playing the NYRA contest, good luck. Looks like, okay, I got that bet in. That's good. I can put myself back on screen. Final Verdict with Dylan. I think he's going to track the 7. Is in absolutely fantastic form. Ran here last month and just lost to Antares and Works For Me. He was also a nice horse. I'm not getting overly creative, obviously, because I've got 7, 8. The way this track is playing, Jackson and Chris, I mean, you do want to be up front, but you know what's going to happen. At some point, they're all going to think that, and there's going to be a total pace meltdown. It sure as hell didn't happen in the turf sprint yesterday, though, in the last race.
No.
Sub 1 minute, Jackson, I think they went, right?
Sub 1 minute, but I mean, would the number come back? I think I saw it earlier. It was over 100. It's not like he just barely held on to win with the speed favoring course. I mean, he ran off the screen. That was an impressive effort.
Very impressive.
Bring the Band Home was the name.
Bring the Band Home. Yep, very good.
Howard, quickly, while we have a second, if you go to the chat, look at the Gilly Capper's late pick 5.
Okay.
And share that on the screen pretty quickly, because I do like that ticket as well.
Okay. Well, we love our fans. Here we go. Gilly Capper's got 2, 6, 7, 8 with 4, 7 with 2, 3, 4 with 5, 7 with 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. Good luck to you, Gilly Capper. Jackson, I know you're a very astute handicapper and ticket construction guy. What do you do with nitrogen? I mean, to me, I'm probably not doing what I should, to be all honesty. I think you should either single nitrogen or go very deep. I'm only using one other, which does double my ticket. I have to admit, full disclosure, that is not the ticket I'm playing for myself. But I asked, we're just putting a $50 ticket, sort of S's and giggles ticket up on the screen. So just so everyone knows, I am not playing the exact ticket that I put on the screen. But what do you do in that race? Because 90% of people are seeing the nitrogen. I mean, you could toss, you could single, you could go like I'm doing, the 2 deep, you can go 6 deep and try to beat them. I mean, if you take your personal handicapping out of it, just ticket construction standpoint, what do you recommend in these situations?
Look, I mean, first of all, it all depends on your opinion. If you think nitrogen can't lose, you Stinkler. You don't mess around throwing in, I don't want to be afraid if the 3 horse or the 2 horse beats me, then throw them in. Like, if you like nitrogen, you have to Stinkler, because you're just spending twice as much or 3 times as much to add in each horse. You're just losing so much equity. But at the same time, if you don't like her, you gotta just chuck her completely. You can't be afraid to lose. If you're betting these pick 5s afraid to lose, it's a way to lose equity so fast. So
I'll give you an
2 or 3
example.
other horses you don't like, but also at the same time, you also don't want to overspread. Like, you don't want to use all 6 other horses in the field too. Like, that's just diluting any kind of equity you're creating by chucking the 1 to 5 favorite. So it all depends on what your opinion is, and you gotta just go from there.
I saw a pick 5 ticket earlier today at Horseshoe, 2 5 to 2 shots and a 6 to 5 shot, and using all 3 of them in the pick 5. That is a recipe for disaster.
Right.
You have to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Either you don't play it, or you make a decision and don't go 3 deep there. And then when the 5 to 2 beats the 6 to 5, you get excited because you beat the favorite. Yeah. Everybody else did the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like going 6 deep and keeping nitrogen in there, and nitrogen hits and you're excited. No,
This looks like they're going in the gate depending on, are they going in the gate for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got you.
All right, race 8 starts the pick 5, late pick 5 at Saratoga turf sprint. Good luck, everyone.
Boats Are Rockin' is hard ridden for early speed. On the outside, Step Forward is up close. And in between those 2, Twisted Filigree. So they're really singling it up on the front end. They're followed by Light the Way in. Final Verdict, well spotted fifth, 4 lengths off the lead as they move into the far turn. And Terry's is next. It's been passed by Vinsanity, who's moving up far outside. Final Forces is second to last. And Judge Davis at the back, 21-3 for Twisted Filigree. Pressed by Step Forward in second as Final Verdict marching in confidently third. Boats are rocking along the inside. Fourth as the field turns for home. Judge Davis angles well out into the center of the race course. 1 furlong left. Step Forward on the outside, trying to get by Twisted Filigree. A length and a half. Final Verdict is still in third. Coming toward the wire. Twisted Filigree is just resilient. Final Verdict, the final try on the outside, Step Forward. Twisted Filigree. Ultra game in victory. What a comeback that was. Step Forward and Final Verdict.
I'm a little behind here, so but that was a game effort. Final Verdict, absolutely no excuses whatsoever. Twisted Filigree with a very, very gallant effort at a price, and I believe, I could be wrong about that, but I believe that was a top choice from either Paul or Pete on our show on Thursday. I have to go back and watch it, but I know one of our co-hosts really liked that horse. So congratulations to anyone who had Twisted Filigree. 101.03 final time. Again, no one really closing, Jackson. It looked like for the most part, other than the two who was off the layoff, the 3 and 5 were up close the whole way.
Yeah, and look, Pratt is one of the best in the world. Obviously, they're all paying attention. He knew what he had to do to have any kind of chance in this race. He was making the front. Did not matter how fast he had to go to get there. He was getting to the front, and then he would see what happened from there. And that's exactly what he did, and was able to take advantage.
Pete Visco.
That was a top pick for
Pete, right?
Pete, and he had it in all of his pick 5 tickets.
Wow. Pete Visco. Nice job, my friend. They're going to the gate very quickly in Monmouth. I'm going to bring that up in just a minute. That was off a layoff, I think, also for that horse, right? That's a monster effort. Huge.
Yeah.
Is he a New York bred?
It was a while ago.
Is he a New York bred? Or I can't recall, but
he is a New York bred, yes.
Wow.
So they're gonna have some options with this horse.
Flavina 9-1, Jackson. Wow.
Yeah, what is that?
I mean, again, we talked about this on our show Thursday. It's gonna be the same thing at Delmar, right, Jackson? Next starting in 2 weeks. These top jockeys are not getting on horses that are dead on the board. And I shouldn't say down the board because this one was. They're not getting on horses off a layoff that are not ready to run. Let's just put it that way. Someone knows something, right, Jackson? Either the agent talks to the trainer or connections or whatever. You're just not going to get, JJ Hernandez or Irad or whatever on horses coming off layoffs that are short, right? It's just not going to happen. All right, let's go ahead and we're ready to bring on Monmouth here.
Post position.
Who's a quick top choice? Either of you guys on Monmouth here?
I wanted a little stab on the 4 here. Felt like there could be a lot of speed. This horse is finally dropping, getting back to the turf, and finally in a much softer spot on the grass. She was pitched way too high, 3 and 4 back. So back in claiming ranks for the first time in a while. Hope there's enough pace. I think she's about 10-1. So a little stab on this horse.
I thought the 9 was interesting. I don't know the odds, but Matt Dinnerman with the call. Race 8, Monmouth Park.
22-1, Howard, on your 9. I've got the 5.
Laroff getting squeezed at the break was Miss Rummy Cube, drops to the back. Mia Vida on the lead in the orange cap, strides clearly ahead here. Unbounded Movement claiming the second position. Mia Vida getting to the fence, has the lead early on. Victory Girl claiming second with Authenticate now, who's tugging a little bit behind the speed today. Bazarina in fourth early. Unbounded Movement settles in down at the rail. CC Girl, Hullabaloo, they're next as they go into the first turn run. Southampton Dock is third last. Beckett's Map is second to last early on, and the trailer is Miss Rummy Cube after getting squeezed at the break. About 9 or 10 lengths from first to last as they approach the back stretch. Mia Vida on the lead at 9-2, 3 parts of a length ahead. Victory Girl is applying some pressure, now a half length back. Authenticate now settles in third, more relaxed. Bazarine to the outside, a half length back. A length and a half to CC Girl off the rail. Unbounded Movement inside, and a 3 deep Hullabaloo. 2 more to Southampton Dock. Miss Rummy Cube, Beckett's Map at the tail end of the field together. Now 8 lengths from first to last with a half mile to go. Mia Vida a half length in front, still of Victory Girl. 1-2 going into the forward turn. Bazarina third. Authenticate now to the inside.
Not too
going
quick
into
a
the
pace,
turn.
Chris. You
Miss
should have a
Rummy
shot
had to
here.
steady hard into that turn. Lost position. Unbounded movement in the meantime. She's also giving way. Going in the wrong direction. Southampton Dock is trying to pass horses here. 7 lengths behind. Needs to get going at the top of the stretch. Mia Vida off the turn in front with Victory Girl, who comes calling the lead. Grabs it from Mia Vida. Outside. Authenticate now. A little bit green here. And Southampton Dock continues up the fence. Southampton Dock to the lead.
Watch
and
the
Miss
split.
Rummy Cube is coming
Watch the
between
split.
horses. Miss Rummy Cube. Southampton Dock. Southampton Dock held on.
Well, the Pink Floyd fans are happy there.
For her.
And I'm sure that has no reference for Jackson or Howard, but that's a song from the final cut.
Southampton Dock was that the favorite, I believe, the 7, close to it. Let me see here.
He was up there.
2-1.
Yeah.
2-1. All right, nothing special. I didn't play the race. The 9 made a little bit of a middle move, not much though. I was just more underneath kind of play. Real nice ride. It got a little goofy there in lane. Sammy Camacho with the win there. The 8, Miss Rummy Cube. Love the name. And by the way, love Rummy Cube too. For those of you who know what Rummy Cube is, fantastic. Chris, do you know Rummy Cube? Are you familiar with that game?
No, I don't. I'm
Jackson?
No.
Oh,
I do not.
It's a great game with tiles. It's sort of like dominoes, but not really.
Oh, Rummy, the game Rummy. Yeah, I know the game Rummy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. If you're a Rummy Cube fan, put it in the chat. You can do like what they call runs or lays, and it's an interesting game. It's sort of like dominoes. Jackson will next time we're all together, we'll bring it out. It's interesting. It's a lot of fun.
Howard, just a quick chat update. A lot of people. Tony had the 3 in the last. Boom. A few other folks had it on Pete's suggestion.
There we go.
That's all good stuff. Wiz had it in a tournament.
Nice.
Good stuff there, and just happy to see all that great content in the chat. So hop in and be sure to talk about it. We did request Howard quickly for a tournament update in terms of what's going on.
Update? Sure, we can do that.
You want me to read?
There's a big tournament going on right now at Naira. This is actually up to date right now. Let me go ahead and make it a little bit bigger if I can. I was in 10th. I'd made a small play. I'm in 13th right now. I'm fine. I'm at 344 here. The leader right now is Tim Yoler with a big lead. Wow. 1859. Robert Elliott in second. Matt Miller, by the way, is in 6th.
Lurking.
I'm in 13th. I'm looking for my good friend Paul Halloran, who was up there before. You don't see Paul right now, so I'm not sure where he's at.
Brad Anderson down there as well. He's in.
Yeah, Brad. What's up, Brad? Brad's at 20th. So there's still 4 races to go. I have a big play that I will, of course, not tell them what I'm doing, but I do have a big play forthcoming. Plenty of time here in the Naira contest. All right, guys. I think we have about 4 minutes to post here to Indiana, which we're going to go next in the Michael Schaefer Memorial. This is a really nice dirt race. We'll see if Kyle comes on here. Again, we had some tech issues with Kyle, but there were a bunch of scratches across entries. It's the Michael G. Schaefer at Horseshoe Indy, another $100,000 purse. This is on the dirt, going 1 mile and 70. I have a pretty strong opinion in this race, and I like a horse quite a bit, guys, in this race. I like the number 8, Moonlight, for Chris Block, Orlando Mojica. These are Chicago or old Chicago connections. Moonlight, guys, who's 6-1 morning line, is getting really good right now. He's sort of the fresh face. I see 0 minutes to post, Chris, so you might want to be ready to get that audio up. I'm not sure how much time we've got, but I like Moonlight at 6-1. You have quick thoughts, Jackson, in this race?
Yeah, I didn't want to hand the race to the 11. Willie Dees, who's 6-5 right now, he's taking a ton of money. Obviously, he's live if he runs back to the last race, but he got the lead in there. He's not getting the lead here. Probably not. There's a lot of other speed in here with Track Phantom, Midnight West. I have a tough time. I did go to Midnight West, I think. Just felt like a horse that, they brought him back last time without Lasix and allowance rich, but I thought that was really interesting because I took it as a sign that they knew what they had. They knew he's going to be a stakes horse. They knew he wouldn't be able to use Lasix throughout the rest of the year, and he ran like it. I mean, he got the lead that race and ran them off their feet. Got a career best. Doesn't need the lead necessarily, but will be 4th place. He's a big price. I'll use him. And then Warrior Johnny, maybe he's running back into form. He closed into a really slow pace last time. Has numbers back from last summer that make him competitive. Maybe he's running back into form. He's another one that's going to be a price and should get a pretty good setup in here.
Yep, he's 8. He actually just drifted up to 10-1. Chris, do you have thoughts on this very difficult race? And feel free to cue me up when the audio's ready or when the race is about to go.
They're on the track. They're galloping around right now.
All right.
No, we've
got
got
time.
3 or 4 minutes. Howard, you're on the 8, right? You like Moonlight?
I do like Moonlight to close and finish. Yep.
Yeah, but that just hasn't happened today or yesterday.
I mean,
this horse broke 7th, 6th, 10th, 5th, 6th, 4th, 10th, and 7th in the last races that I can see on my screen right here. And, you need a complete pace meltdown to get this horse to get there. I'm sorry
to interrupt you, Chris, but I think that might happen. There's a ton of speed in this race. I mean, the 8's the only one literally that has shown any ability to close. Maybe the 9 a little bit. Everyone else wants to be forward, although your point is well taken, obviously.
So my play here would be this is Uskar, the 6. If the pace meltdown doesn't happen and that horse can sit up close there, has won $130,000 allowance at Keeneland, which is by far superior to, kind of what they're facing today. Ali Sheba, grade 2. This just feels like the last race, right? Couple of graded stakes races and stepping into a glorified allowance. And, if that horse can sit right off and they don't go too fast, then the 6, I think, could be a major player there. I would look at a 6-8 Exacta. Track Phantom's going to obviously taking some money. Willie D's is, the favorite there and likely going to be on the lead or very near close there. And, you can use that 6 various different ways. Currently 5-1 on the.
What do you guys do with what do you guys do with a horse like Track Phantom, who once upon a time was knocking heads with the best? It's been a while, but he's probably supposed to make the front here. We've seen how speedy it's been today. I mean, he's taking a lot of money.
I was wrong about Encino, so maybe my opinion, will be wrong again here, but I'm even more negative to Track Phantom. I mean, what has this horse done recently? I understand he was, he was a monster there for a while, right? People were thinking Kentucky Derby winner. I mean, what has he done since last December? He's been awful in his 2 starts. Now last race was a light and fast pace, but I mean, it's Mike Smith, who I'm not a huge fan of these days. He can win. I mean, go ahead. And if you want to bet him 2-1 and you want to play him on the win end, everyone feel free. I won't. This is a horrible odds to me on this horse. Horrible.
Last race that horse won was in January of 2024, the Comp at Fairgrounds on the lead.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. And that's a song by Stain, which is a very sad song. And it just kind of equates to just a very sad story here in trying to get this horse in the winner's circle.
I
agree, but
wow.
If I could put my Matt Miller hat on for a second, the fact that this horse has ran so poorly in his last 2 starts and is still only 2-1 and taking all this money, like that concerns me a little bit. I feel like someone knows something.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Do you think this is people playing the track more than the horse, guys?
Could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which sometimes you got to do, but you still have to have the horse underneath you. Looks like they're going to the gate, Chris. Is that right?
Yep. Can you hear?
All right, we can. They're going to the gate for race 9 at a Horseshoe Indy. It's $100,000 Schaefer Memorial. Track Phantom can get the job done, most likely on the lead with Mikey Smith.
Morales still waiting for this is Schustster. Speed bias in 2 back.
Isn't there a tout service called Track Phantom?
Only the 6-5 favorite.
I think there's a podcast, I believe.
I wonder if they're picking Track Phantom.
70 yards.
Maybe that's where all the money's coming from. Who knows? I don't know.
One more. Who do
you like in the chat? Put it in the chat. Who do you like in this race?
And Belmont. Michael G. Schaefer Memorial. Fast starts for Track Phantom. Midnight West is right there. This is Schustster. Here's Willie Deans. With an early run now for Johnny Velasquez as they get to the first turn. Willie Deans has taken charge of the pace. Right there's Track Phantom for the inside. Willie Deans to the top. Track Phantom has the white cap. Right there's this is Schustster. Third and up close. Willie Deans leads at the 6.5 at Midnight West, running in 4th. Capoeira has the white blinkers and tight quarters there in 5th. Meantime, saving ground is Warrior Johnny and the Whitney Red, who's joined out wide by Speed Bias, who's in the
They're not flying.
And the Gray Montage Info. Nobody quarter 23.49 seconds. Willie Deans Willie D's, nice
In
and
Track
easy.
Phantom's good days, I don't want to talk over. That's okay.
A half mile from home, and the Michael G. Schaefer Memorial. Right there, this is Oscar with Midnight West. Track Phantom pulls the rail in fourth for Mike Smith. Has to pick up now is Track Phantom as they enter the far turn. Half mile to the front runner. Willie D's 46.82. Capone is next in fifth. And we come back to Warrior Johnny, Speed by Ascent. Woodbine is still last. Around the far turn, Willie D's. This is Oscar. It's near for Ed Morales coming toward the quarter pole as they line up now. At Midnight West for the 3 for Albert Burgers as they come toward the top of the stretch. 3/4, 1 and 9.53 seconds. They straighten. Midnight West themselves out of this is Oscar and Willie D's responding to the pressure. It's Willie D's with Johnny Velasquez. 1 furlong to go. Willie D's in front. Spurts away by better than 2. This is Oscar battling Midnight West. Going back and forth. Midnight is stiff. They're close to home in the Michael G. Schaefer Memorial. Willie D's with Johnny B. Willie D's 1 by 5. And this is Oscar.
All right.
Midnight West and Capone.
I'll take some second on this is Oscar.
Willie
I'll tell you,
D's,
that race was over about a furlong into it when no one wanted to try to make the front end. I mean,
just
that was it.
when Willie D's clears from the 11, I mean, by the way, Track Phantom, absolutely awful. Those odds were 3-1. Actually, Willie D's got bet down to 8-5. Credit to number 7, Jackson made a big through-eye move, just couldn't quite sustain it. This is Oscar. Comes 11-6. I think he held on for third though, correct? The 7?
Yeah, he ran okay. He made a big middle move there.
Absolutely.
7-9-8.
11-6-7. The 8 made a run. Guys, this track's just ridiculous. Don't forget about the 8. He actually closed to a decent 5th. I know that sounds silly, but I mean, he was the only one really running at the end. I thought there'd be a pace meltdown, and I obviously was wrong. I don't know if Mike Smith saw the 11 on the outside in the first turn, Jackson. The good Track Phantom doesn't even let the 11 go by and has the lead there. Boy, Chris, I don't know what you do with Track Phantom right now. I have no idea what they're going to do with him.
Throw it out is what you do with Track Phantom. Throw it out. I mean, the 6 there ran a pretty good race.
Yes.
That's a $10 exacta, which is not bad.
Nope.
And I'm sure
Nice job.
place price on that 6 won't be too shabby either. Just wasn't able to outgun. But this is a situation when, future reference, when you get to these races and you think, oh, there's going to be all this speed, and then it doesn't materialize. And that happens a lot, right? Yeah. Like there are times where, you handicap the opposite way, and then they go 21-1 and, you get a big long shot closing. We just haven't seen that at Indiana as of yet. So
at the same time, though, like on paper, how I don't know, the way I saw the race at least, how do you predict that the 11 was going to clear that easily? I mean, the 5 was coming out of a 6 furlong sprint against world record where he went head to head him for the first opening quarter, and then today he concedes the lead from the inside. I mean,
I didn't see it. I have to admit, I'm shocked, to be honest.
I'm with you, Jackson. It's jockey intent. It's the way these other trainers come up with things. Obviously, Mike and Johnny had a plan, and the plan was to go. And if they went, maybe everybody else tried to fade them. But the way the track's been playing, that was the smart move to make because, look at the 10 speed bias. One last out on the lead, yet didn't go, right? Everybody was afraid to go because you don't want to get caught up. But, yeah, we're going to give Jackson a boom for sure. And make sure to speak with him.
I got to tell you guys, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from the 11, but what the hell are the other jockeys thinking? I'm sorry. It's a speed favoring track. These horses have speed. Show the damn speed. Like I look, I'm a little bitter because I had Moonlight and I needed the pace setup and didn't get it. I get it. But to me, guys, I saw 8 horses that want to be forward, including 3 that probably couldn't win unless they had the lead, which includes Track Phantom. And they let the chalk clear from the 11 hole. And they weren't even going that fast. I think some jockeys just outthought themselves, Jackson, or maybe I've misread the race. That's possible too, but I don't think I did based on the running lines. I'm not sure I did. I don't know.
Yeah, that was one of those races where I wish you have mid-race betting, because when you saw the 11 clear like that, it was over.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, no doubt. By the way, Gulfstream, I'm playing the pick 5 carryover. The number 1 upset the 4. Bird Wildcat won at 3-1 in race 8 at Gulfstream. Where are we going next, Chris? Where's the next race? It might be, is it Monmouth?
It's the Saratoga Monmouth combo.
Actually, Woodbine is off. Did we miss Woodbine? I think we did.
I think we did.
Woodbine is off. That's okay.
Yeah.
Maybe give a little play-by-play as we're going along here.
That was the boom Chris was
it looks
referring
like
to. I like that 5 quite a bit.
The 5 at Woodbine at 9-2. Gloriani. 5-6-3 at Woodbine. 9-2 over 5-2 over 4-1. Sorry, we got a lot of races. What a shock, everyone. We have races on top of each other throughout the country. We want to focus mainly on Saratoga. We want to focus mainly on Saratoga and Horseshoe, even though we don't have video of that. We definitely want to focus on those two as the big races. But anyway, that was Gloriania at Woodbine over Pure Factor over Wicked Mercury in race 8. I believe they have a stake race coming up next. We'll make sure to show that one. Yes, the Hendry, featuring some nice gals, including Gal in a Rush for Mr. Clement. All right, guys. Looks like we have 11 minutes of Saratoga as I'm looking. We got 11 minutes to Monmouth, of course. Horseshoe Indy just ran. So let's go to Saratoga, guys. What do you say? Race 9 at Saratoga. Let's focus on that. Before we do that, big announcement. Are we ready? Big announcement. Hold on 1 second. We're going to have some giveaways, ladies and gentlemen. We have several hundred people watching. Thank you very much. This is Howard Kravitz, host of the HHH Racing Podcast. This is Weekend Warriors episode number 1. I'm going to take a look at the top right of the screen here in just a moment for something very, very special. I'm going to leave it on there. Boom, right there. Top right-hand side of the screen right now on YouTube, right over Chris's left-hand shoulder and above the American. Nope, I knew he'd screw that up. Nope, there we go. Right above the American flag, there is a blue QR code. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the QR code that will send you to our Saturday-only regular Power Pick tip sheet. Make sure you go ahead. If you're not familiar with our Power Pick tip sheet, it's very profitable. It's very inexpensive. It comes out on Saturdays only. Please check it out. Again, if you're not familiar with QR codes, you take any camera, your phone, your iPad, go ahead and just point at it. It'll give you like a yellow tab at the bottom. Click on that. It'll take you to our Patreon.com website where you can sign up for our regular Saturday only Power Pick tip sheet. I'm going to leave that on the screen for just a minute. Now, Chris and Jackson got a little special here for you. The first 3 people, however's listening and watching, the first 3 people that are not Power Pick tip sheet subscribers that sign up will get the first month for free right now. We're doing it right now. How do I know? I'll have to go to my email, guys, to check it out. So the first 3 people who sign up for our new Power Pick or sign up for our Power Pick tip sheet, again, you got to go all the way over in the corner there to the blue QR code. The first 3 people will get a free month of Power Pick tip sheet. What are you waiting for? That's a $20 plus value. How are you going to know if it's free? Because I'll go to my email and I will get notifications on that. So we're going to run that special for a little bit, Chris and Jackson. Jackson, I know you're going to be writing some of the Delmar Power Pick tip sheets coming up. Chris, perhaps you'll get involved in that in a little bit. So anyway, please check out our Power Pick tip sheet. There's also information below our video player as well. But if you want to do it the quickest, go ahead over and click on that QR code. First 3 people, first free month of our Saturday only Power Picks tip sheet. All right, guys, and we'll let people know who that's going to be as we go along. Let's go on to race 9, and we will be taking a break also at some point. Jackson's going to be on for another half an hour approximately. Race 9 is that I'm Wide Awake race, Jackson. I'm going to let you lead the way. Let me show the entries, and then I'm going to show the PPs. And I might be making a little contest play, Jackson. So you and Chris might have to take it away here for a few minutes. So let me go ahead and show right now the next race. There it is. Optional claiming 45. They're going 7 furlongs. New York breds. I'm Wide Awake. Your top choice, Jackson. 4-5. Let me go ahead and put I'm Wide Awake on the screen. And then Jackson and Chris, you guys can talk about this race. Even money 130 on the early time for him. Saez does have to stretch out Jackson.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, if he runs back to last race from a month ago, he's going to be awfully tough against this group. And I'm looking at the well pace right now. Pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5. We have all those pools for this specific race, which helps. He is going to be he's a big favorite. He could be very much lower than 4 to 5. He might be like 1 or 2 by the time the gates open in this race. And again, like we mentioned a little earlier, he's very quick. As is the 3 I am Yo Banana Boy. And then after that, I mean, they're like 5-6 lengths faster than everyone else to the quarter. I mean, they're going to have a big lead on everyone else. Again, he's drawn outside of Yo Banana Boy, which is big because he breaks on top. Great. Go to the front, clear him, go do your thing. Breaks a little bit slower. Okay, he's going to just sit right off of that horse. And which he's done, he's capable of doing in the past. He's shown he's capable of doing that in the past. So, he has a lot of options from out there. And it just seems like this race is kind of set up for him. Is he any kind of, playable win price? Probably not, but maybe get a little creative with some kind of vertical here. Or if you love something in the next race, maybe you play a double and try to get a better win price on whoever you like in the next race, assuming you're a fan of the 4 horse in this race.
Chris, your thoughts on this race?
Jackson, couldn't agree with you more. I think you said everything. I couldn't say it really any better there. I'm going to play a 4-7 with 4 with 7 triple here, pick 3. Definitely going to do somewhat of a Dutch 4-7 to the 4 in the next. By the way, the 4-4 is paying $7 right now, 7-1, 4-2 at 5-1, 4-8 at 7-1, and then you get 10 and 11-1 on the 3 and the 6, and bigger double digits, 32 and 52-1 on the 1 and the 7. But I talked about nitrogen before. I'm on the nitrogen bandwagon and I'm not getting off. So, I can play that at a higher amount at a lower cost and cash something there as well. So I do see folks in the chat that look like they're doing somewhat of the same thing. We got some Bobby Flay comments in Vegas and things like that, but lots of action in the chat. We'd like to see that, but tell us who you like here and what you're betting. Howard, did you get your bet in?
I did get my bet in. I'm just looking at the emails and see if there's any one. It might take a little bit. So to be very honest, I don't get the emails right away when people sign up. It depends how people are signing up. So I promise everyone that I will get you a month free one way or another if you're one of the first 3 people. Again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, on the extreme top right-hand side of the screen is a QR code that takes us to our Saturday-only Power Pick tip sheet. It's about $22 a month. I'm giving first month free for anyone that is not a current subscriber. So go ahead and click on that, and we will take care of you. This whole race, to me, guys, depends on what the 3 does. If Yo Banana Boy, who's got some, I don't think can win this race, but it's got some really strong works, and you've got to believe is a dead send here, but you never know. If the 3 breaks, that's going to be a problem for the 4. I know the 4 sat off last time at this track, Jackson, and won. I mean, where'd that come from? Has it Norm Cassidy just improved that horse that much? I mean, he ran huge. I mean, it was 44 and 4 to the half. Ran by far his career top as a 5-year-old. He has come back with one? He's got 2 works, which I do like. I just logically, I don't know if he can replicate that. Now, if he does, he's a winner. The 2 horses I'm interested in here, maybe not to win, but at least be right there, is the number 6. He's got it for Pratt. Here we go again, Jackson. A Pratt horse coming off a layoff for Abreu. This horse I don't think is short, has been working well, has some back numbers, has gone 7 furlongs. I don't love the 3 for 29, obviously. I don't think he's impossible. The one I'm really interested in, though, is the number 7, Russian Realm for Katie Davis. Katie works very hard. She's a solid jockey. I wish her win percentage was better. First time gelding for Gargan. Katie Davis has got to put this horse in the mix, Chris. This horse can't launch from 12 back and win this race, but if she breaks well and she's like mid-pack, maybe 5-6 off, this is another horse coming off a layoff. This horse is very well intended to me, taking money at 5-1. This to me is the horse that you want to maybe upset I'm Wide Awake. I don't want to say what I'm doing in the contest, but I will say I'm spending about half my bankroll that I have left, guys, in the Naira contest in this race. I'm just going to leave it at that. So this is an important race for me. I want to put in the chat, who do you like here coming up in race 9 is there about 3 minutes to post. Jackson, you're not going with your horse here? I mean, what's wrong with you?
He's going to be so far back there. I mean, he was 15 lengths back going 6 furlongs against Lesser last time. How far? He might be just as far back today. I mean, I just think all these horses are going to have so much to do when they head to the far turn, turning for home. Like, they're going to be so far behind that I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome it. There's just not that much speed in here outside of the top 2 who are going to be clear, and they don't necessarily have to go that fast.
Yeah, he's in for 45, Chris. I don't really love that either. I just don't like when horses are – now he's in for 45 because he's past his condition. He's won 4 races. I understand that. But this was a stake horse, Chris. This was a very nice New York bred, or is a nice New York bred. He's just not quite the same. He's going to be launching. He needs a complete pace meltdown, as does the 2, Bracciole, for Pete Visco and the Italian friends out there. You're right, Jackson. That's why I like the 6 a little bit, because the 6 looks like the only one that's capable of being, maybe just off the speed, while these others look like they're launching from way back, Chris.
Yeah, Howard, I agree with you there. I like the 7 over the 8 in terms of an upsetter, but I'm a solid 4-7 here. I'm going to skip out for a couple of minutes, Howard. I do have the sound up, so you're ready to go. I will be back in about 2 minutes.
Okay, now will the sound play after the race then until you get back? Is that right?
Yes, the sound will. I'm going to stop the cam, but leave me up there and you'll hear it.
Okay, and then hopefully Chris will be back after the race to turn the audio off. There's about 2 minutes to pause here. Jackson, should we get a quick look at our pick 5s? Did anyone else have the 3? I'm trying to remember now.
I'm dead. I don't think I think
Chris had the 3. Chris had the 3. Okay.
I had
well, of course he pops back. Chris had the 3. Chris needs 4-7 here to stay alive in his late pick 5 that I gave. I actually am alive in my own personal
nice. Good
pick
start.
5 that I play. I'm just double checking. I am alive in my own pick 5. Again, the one on the screen is not the one that I played. I'm just double checking. I'm 95% positive I am. Yeah, I got 4, 6, 7 here, Jackson, on my own personal. I'm going to be honest. I played 160. That's bigger than a lot of people would play, but in terms of a pick 5, to be honest, that's more mid-range. To be very truthful, in terms of people that play pick 5s, I'm not a huge money player, but enough to hopefully cash. So I'm 4, 6, 7 here, Chris, on my. Jackson, on my ticket. How would you play this race, Jackson? I know you like the 4. Is this a straight win bet, or is 4 to 5 too low? Pair it up with an exacta. What would you recommend to the viewers and listeners here?
Just the way I see this race, I want to mostly get alive into a double here. I think he's 45 right now. I think I'm worried he's going to go much lower than that when they go in the gate. I said intellect is one of my stronger pins of the day. Right now the doubles, even that's pretty light. It's paying 4 to 1 on that double. So I think I'd probably try to get a little cute with an exacta then. I think the 1's a little interesting on the rail. He might be the one that gets the first jump on the deeper closers. Ricky's going to ride. He's from the rail. He's going to have to be forwardly sent. And he's a big price in here. I think he's a little interesting. Has some back numbers. I'd probably try to get a little creative with the 4 over the 1.
For a curve. We didn't tell Ship. Let me bring that up there. Shipsational 13 to 1. Eddie Barker can pop another horse in for 45. This horse is coming off of open company. How much credit do you give for a horse switching from open company allowance into a state bred allowance, no matter what state we're talking about?
I mean, definitely some. I mean, obviously it's coming from Delaware and Finger Lakes, so it's probably more of a lateral move than anything, but he didn't run awful in those spots. And I think last time was probably just a little further back than he preferred. And you go back to what he did in the winter last year. I mean, those numbers don't put him too far off what it's going to take to hit the board in this spot. So I think the exact is paying $13, $14. I think I'd be interested in that.
I'm I already played a contest, so I don't really want to say until the race is over, but I'm playing some doubles. So that's my main thought here. It looks like is the number 2 Intellect the favor in the doubles going for the next race, Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We
have look who's here. Speaking of contests, Mr. Matt Miller. What's up, Matt? How you doing?
Hey, everybody. All good. How are you?
Where's the hoodie? What's up with that?
I have to go to dinner right at 6:30 Eastern, so I'm ready to go. I'll stay as long as I can.
Nice.
Love it.
All right, Matt, thanks for joining the show.
You know, it is funny. I mean, it's right next to me though. The betting and boozing, so there's always one on hand.
Jackson Heights the last two.
That's awesome.
I
Matt, who you
see
got
it.
here?
All right, we got sound, guys. Here's race 9 at Saratoga. Good luck to everyone.
Going in. And they're off. Very even start. I'm wide awake with that natural early gas. Goes straight to the front. He's got it. Comes away second. Yo, Banana Boy moves through along the inside. Takes second now. They're followed by Sensational in fourth. It's a gap of 5 or 6. Already back to Russian Realm, who's on the inside of Jackson Heights. And Braccioli is at the back, well behind I'm Wide Awake, who rattled off an opening quarter in 22 and 2/5 seconds. The heavy favorite I'm Wide Awake in front. Yo, Banana Boy is asked to get after him second. 6 more, and he's got it in third. Another gap to Sensational, followed by Jackson Heights, who is next. Then Russian Realm, and a long, long way to Braccioli. 44 and 3.
Whoa.
It is I'm Wide Awake. In front by 3. Yo, Banana Boy still second by a huge margin, and he's got it in third. I'm Wide Awake.
That's a huge problem.
Yo, Banana Boy is trying to close the gap in second. The other's getting closer, but still 6 lengths back to the next one. He's got it, and Russian Realm on Wide Awake trying to finish it up. He's very tired and has a narrow lead. On the inside, Yo, Banana Boy. Center of the track, Jackson Heights is coming fast. Here comes Jackson Heights, and he's got him. Jackson Heights under Dylan Davis blows by them all. Multiple horse photo. Yo, Banana Boy.
Wow.
Leg weary. You could tell that horse was done at the top of the stretch. Oh my gosh.
I'm watching it again. That's a little behind the audio I'm watching. He just couldn't get the 7. I mean, they were coming together at the finish. There were 7 horses pretty much. I think the one actually got second. I believe it looked like
after
there.
all that. He went from third to last to second.
Yeah, he went, and that other one went from Wide Awake to
No, the one got third.
Did he?
Did he? Okay. Critical to Rye Jackson. Just tried to open up. I was worried about the 7. I had the right idea to try and beat the 4. I just had the wrong horse.
Me too.
Yeah, you know, it's very difficult for me to be critical of giving your speed horse the best chance possible, which is go to the front. I mean, you're on the best horse, you go to the front. It doesn't matter. And to Matt's point, that horse was done at the top of the stretch. And you saw how long it took for anyone to get near him. I mean, maybe the distance got to him, but because he had created so much separation, he still almost won the race, even though he was just toast with a quarter mile to go. And that's what you do. I know obviously the result didn't work out for this horse, but you know, that's what you want to do on a speed horse. You want to give them their best chance, let them roll, use their best asset.
Matt, was there a contest play there?
Looks like the 5 actually it came 5-4, or not the 5. I'm sorry, 3. 3 got second. I couldn't tell who got third now, but
8-3-4-1.
Wow. I'm going to agree in general, Jackson, but I'm going to push back a little bit because when you've never gone the distance, I'm not sure you want to do that. Like you got to conserve something. And he just figured he was also on the wrong lead. This horse is just dead tired. I love Saez though. I don't know. Not good for my contest, by the way, Matt. I still have money, but that was not good for me. Congrats to Dylan Davis, 10-1 on Jackson Heights. And Matt, a gentleman named Jackson does not play Jackson Heights.
I was, Howard, I was waiting for you to say that. I mean,
well,
all the time.
I mean, Jackson's our boy. I didn't want to be too rude, but I mean,
I know. It's like, how many horses are named Jackson?
Thank you. If I bet on every single Jackson or Jack horse or Jack's horse out there today, I would be down so much.
No. We didn't say Jack.
First name.
Jackson. I mean, inexcusable.
Wow. Okay.
Inexcusable.
Whoa.
I'll get him next time when he's 3-1 in a paceless race.
Yeah. I'm watching the replay. I think all the jockeys ran their race. I can tell you right now for sure, this is a horse that you do not want to bet back, Jackson Heights. I mean, literally the only chance he had was that. Congrats to Dylan, anyone who had Jackson Heights. That's awesome. But I'm bummed, Chris, because I really was very susceptible to I'm Wide Awake. I just had a bad vibe. A 5-year-old coming off a big top mat, going a distance he's never gone, even though he was loose. And sometimes you try to beat the favorite. I had the 6 and 7, Matt, mainly. I'll tell everyone what I did. I had Saver doubles 4-2, and I played pretty big doubles, Matt, 6-7 with 2 into Intellect in the next race, which would have given me another about $600-700. So I still have money left. That one sort of hurt a little bit. I had the right idea, Matt, just the wrong horse. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And as a veteran of these things, I could just tell you it hurts way more when you screw up how you played versus who you played. Right? You can accept being wrong and whatever, but if you're happy with your bets and your strategy, okay, take a breath and move on.
Yeah, I don't really have too many regrets. I just had the wrong 2 horses. But Chris, your thoughts on that race, and we'll move on.
My thoughts on that race is it sucked. When the 4 went wide, I knew I was cooked, right? And the 7 was way too far back, and I didn't have the Jackson horse, and I probably should have used it because there's a guy named Jackson on the screen, and I didn't. But whatever, we can pivot over to Horseshoe in Minneapolis.
Let's do that.
We got the race going off here. The Ellen's Lucky Star Handicap, $100,000 off pitch is the current second choice, and I really like this horse. Rudy Brissett brings this horse in here off a turf race over there at Indianapolis back in June, and I think this horse can improve and get the job done. And speed's been good here, and I like the price. I like the pace. I like everything about this, and I'll turn it over to Matt to tell you why I like it.
Well, it's funny. I can go look at why you like it.
There it is, Matt. It's on screen. We got the PPs on the screen, Matt.
Howard, I would like you to just make sure you hold your headphones on tight when they're about to blow off. When I tell you, if you can believe it, I'm alive in a pick 5. I did that specifically.
What?
I told you were not going to. I hope you said
pick 5? Wow. Okay.
I just figured it would make the show more fun to do. So it's not on the screen. What race number is this?
This is race
number 10.
Okay, I got 1, 2, 4, 12.
Okay.
So I was not sold on any particular chalk because I'm inclined to try to go as skinny as I can. So that's about as spready as I get.
Okay.
You don't like the 4 at all?
He's in there. 1, 2, 4, 12.
Okay.
I just didn't want to. I didn't want to put, and I didn't want to press on it or anything like that. I wanted to include him 25%.
I might sound silly again the way all these tracks seem to be playing, and I want to apologize first of all to our Power Pick Tip Sheet players because I re-looked at this race and I didn't have the 10 in the mix on our Power Pick Tip Sheet. I think Innisfree Last, the number 10 in this race at 8-1 is fascinating, guys. I know that this track is speed favoring, but am I going to trust Indiana breds on a speed favoring turf course? I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not sorry. That's the 2. The 1's got speed. The 4's got speed. And this is not great speed. I mean, the 12 is going, right? The 14 with Bashiza has to go from the outside. Like, this race just stinks to high heaven, guys. The number 10, Innisfree Last at 8-1. The dam side is distance, and the sire, this is Kasaba, is out of a Kitten's Joy. So the sire, this horse wants to go long on turf. I love the big improvement last time. The fact that this horse can close, I think she's getting better. She's a little bit slower by the figs, guys, but I think this horse is going to make a big run, and is one of the few horses in this race that I really trust wants the turf and also wants long. So I'm going to take a stab here in this race with the number 10, who, again, I did not have in the Power Pick Tip Sheet, which is very unusual for me. People that don't know me, I apologize, but I just made a decision to change. I do have the 4 in second, Chris. I'm going 10-4-1 in this race, hoping that there's enough speed to set up for a closer. I remember last year, Jackson, because I'm a sicko, I don't remember who won this race last year, but in this exact race last year, this Indiana bred turf race on Indiana Derby Day, some like 30-1 shot won. Like, you can't really trust anyone in this race.
It kind of feels like it could be that kind of race. I agree with everything you said. Starting with the 10, this feels like a race that has so much speed. The 14 getting in is a big addition from that post. She's got to go. The 12's going to go. The 5's going to go. The 4 probably wants to go. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities for a very hot pace. And like you said, this is the one closer on the turf that you can probably trust. You know, because she's done it before. And it's not a question mark about her. You mentioned she's a little too slow in figures. The last race was never going to come back a fast race because they went so slow up front, and she still found a way to win that race. So give her the right setup in this spot. She's going to come motoring late. She's going to be about 7-8 to 1, I think, looking at these will pays. I think that's a very fair price on a proven turf horse in a field that lacks it with the big closing kick that just is supposed to get a setup. So give me the 10.
Yeah, I also mentioned this.
I'll help your price out a little bit there, Jackson. If you look at the doubles, the next race looks like it's pretty logical for one of just 2 horses. I just plugged, listening to Howard's pick, I just plugged in a couple doubles right now. 8 over those 2 horses paid 25 to 1 and 35 to 1. So it doesn't take a ton of money to act when you've got an opinion on a long shot like that.
I think on the show I gave out the 7 as another horse, Hoosier Promise. This is a horse that's not been on turf, but one last time closing, guys, and was meant for turf. Although Granite's is not very good, the trainer, dirt to turf. So I decided to switch to the 10 for John Horan, who can win, and that's a name that Matt knows. He's a decent Midwest trainer that used to train quite a bit at Arlington. Also, let everyone know I'm a little bit dark on the screen. I apologize. No, it's not a tan. My light went out here because things are on fire here. So if the light got too hot, everyone can see me just fine, then we're all good. Chris, how are we doing with time here? Because we're going to get the sound on.
I've got sound ready. They're circling around and getting ready to think about going there.
Okay.
7, no. I don't think that horse is bred for turf at all. I don't think that's much of a chance here. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th.
On the dam side, Chris, there's the dam right there. The dam's a turf horse. I mean,
sure,
nothing special, but I mean, some nice turf sprinters in the family. Where is it? It's got to be up.
I'm not buying what you're selling. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, no problem. Well, I like the 10 a little more anyway. How about the 10?
Yeah.
No?
The 10, yes. The 10 I could get behind.
Okay.
The 10 is, for me, in that area where it will be competitive. I just think the horses that the 4 has faced in the past are better than these. And, that's where that's gonna work out to be.
Chris, let me ask about the 4, because I think the 4 is a really interesting horse. Just she was 75 to 1 last time against that group, and I know she ran incredibly well. She also had everything her own way that day too, so I wasn't quite sure what to do with her because she's not getting that same setup she did last time. You're going from 75 to 1 to 7 to 5 probably against this group.
9 to 5 right now, Jackson. By the way, 9 to 5.
That, Jackson. I agree with you. But really, everyone thought nothing of the horse last time, and now all of a sudden I'm supposed to take something that's I agree. That's a big data point for me.
Like, she's way the horse to beat. I'm 100% agree with that. I found that interesting. Like, it's tough. It's a dilemma for sure.
You get Rudy, and he's not putting a big name jock on the horse. I mean, if Irad or Jose rode that horse last out, was going to be 75 to 1, right?
Right. Well, those jocks are
Samuel Bermudez on the horse, and he's off the 5, Royal Justice, which won last out for Aaron West, and we almost said Adam West, Batman, but it's just for me, this is a good one. All the stars are aligned, and we're at 9 to 5 right now, so we'll see what that goes. They head over to the turf course here to get ready to roll.
Coming back in 2 weeks also. I mean, the 74, people see the 74. I'm curious to see what the time form is. I'm not going to show up on the screen, but I'm going to look at the time form number. But well, it's hard to say because these horses haven't been on turf, but the time form number was an 89, which is only 15 points higher than the buyer, which means someone's wrong. Either the buyer's too high or the time form's too low, because usually it's about 20 points. So someone, one of the figs is a little bit off here. We're going to find out. And if someone gets loose, I suppose they have a big shot here. I just don't. A lot of horses I don't trust.
For Rehan. Pitches in.
Here we go. Race 10 at Horseshoe Indy. John G. Dooley.
Royal Justice planted well. Loading up.
Good luck, everyone.
Dennis Freelance. Luis Contreras, up comes Gold Delight. Alex Achard.
2-1 on the 4.
The first stall.
8-5. It'll be 3-2 when they turn for home.
She was bet a lot more in the pick 3 than she was in the double.
And you'll be able to deduct 10% of 90% of that on your.
Don't start.
Against your losses.
Don't start. By the way, this 12 is getting bet down too.
One more. Adams gets up. Soundless siren draws in. Sorry, not sorry, both for Mike Bauer and Penny Bauer. Luis Contreras getting reset on Gold Delight.
Turf course looks absolutely beautiful out there. I'll tell you that. They do a nice job with that. I mean, it's really a nice mid-level track. I got to give Horseshoe Indy some credit.
Agreed.
Never been there, guys, but will be at some point.
46 to 1 on Gold Delight is 3.
How far a drive is that for you, Howard?
Last flash.
Say again, Chris?
3
How
hours.
far a drive is that? 3 hours?
A little more, but about that, yeah.
Depends on the weather.
Kyle Roscoe is there live, everyone, but we had a little bit of a tech issue, and he hasn't tried to come back on. So here we go.
And Durham and the Ellen's Lucky Star.
Even money.
Fat Chance is sharply away off pitch. Wild Justice and the red cap is also up close here. Hoosier Promise to the inside. Orange the blue hoops, and Devil Painter is right there too.
Nobody won the lead again.
From Royal Justice, Fat Chance for the inside as they enter the first turn. Then comes Devil Painter. Hot Middles is caught wide, and Soundless Siren is covering a lot of ground.
3-5
on the first turn. It's off pitch. Nicely out as these 3-year-old fillies go to the back of the course.
Unreal.
To a quarter at 23.51. Off pitch, steady as she goes. 3/4 length to a close-up. Wild Justice, Fat Chance running in third. 3/4 length, Devil Painter in fourth. To the inside, Sorry Not Sorry is goes to the fifth. Hoosier Promise is sixth. Tap bottom.
You notice they don't show the odds.
Gold Light is eighth. Hot Middles running in ninth. Past the half mile.
They haven't finished better.
We come back to the inside, Spooky Ridge with on the outside. Soundless Siren is running in 11th, and Innisfree Lass trails to 12 after the mile start. Half mile 47.23 off pitch coming toward the quarter pole. Wild Justice right there for Fernando de la Cruz. They're out head to head as they straighten for home. Devil Painter's third in range. Wild Justice is quickly in front. Wild Justice going for
Holy shit.
3/4 at 1:11.07 seconds. Wild
He's
Justice
gone.
has the 7-length lead.
What in the world?
1 furlong to go from off pitch. From the inside, Sorry Not Sorry with her bid.
Put this horse up for second.
Spooky Ridge, Innisfree Lass is too late. Royal Justice and Fernando de la Cruz in the blowout score. The Ellen's Lucky Star from Devil Painter.
I don't play pick 5s.
Last on the wire is Spooky Ridge, who split the lead late. Sorry Not Sorry, Hoosier Promise, tap on it, off pitch. They were next across the finish.
Wow. The number 5 wins at 23 to 1 over 16 to 1. Innisfree Lass to 10 came rolling. It was just way too wide, guys, and just missed for second. Finished a solid third, but just too far back. It comes 23 over 16 over 10. The 3-5 favorite, who got semi-loose, I would say, is finished 7th or 8th. I mean, this race just stunk to eye heaven from the start. I knew something weird was going to happen.
Well,
that
exacta went from $891 to $307 at the wire.
Thoughts, Matt Miller?
We
got the Henry. We got a stake here at Woodbine, guys. Let's show the Henry stakes. Here
do that. It's much more positive.
Ms. Tar coming up on the inside to hit the lead is Creed's Gold, and Creed's Gold is in front from a swarm of challengers. Up the inside of the back, Nice's Pie and Ticket Tape Home. You can throw a blanket over the field so far. Out in front, Creed's Gold, and going to second is Run for the Hills. Up on the outside, it is settling there is Ms. Tart with Ticket Tape Home, knuckling into third. Ecstasy is lying in fifth, a length away, Nice's Pie. Back second last, Lithe Spirit. Gallon Rush is now 2.5 away, absolute last. And racing into the turn, it's Creed's Gold getting a little bit of pressure. Run for the Hills on the outside, 2 lengths away. Ticket Tape Home in third, traveling nicely. A length away came Ecstasy. Around the outside, Miss Tart. Nice as Pie running on. Lithe Spirit is well out of it, and Gallon Rush is last. Turning, and Creed's Gold at the quarter. Leads by a length and gets away from Run for the Hills. Nice as Pie on the inside, and down the centre, Ticket Tape Home. The Mark Cassie trio are there, and Ticket Tape Home's running on well with Nice as Pie. Gallon Rush from dead last, a long way back. Creed's Gold has raced away. Oh, Creed's Gold.
Wow.
Rafael Hernandez dominant in what is
Whoa.
a big win in the Henry Stakes. The others never got a look in, and Creed's Gold did the damage. Won by almost 4. Second, Ticket Tape Home. Nice as
Well, I'm not talking about Woodbine.
Gallon.
Wow.
Time.
Creed's Gold. What an impressive effort that was. We didn't have a chance to talk about the race, but Creed's Gold, the number 3. Everyone's got some odds on that, guys?
9-2 on the fastest horse in the race on figures and early pace. So I don't know how that happened.
Wow. Let me go ahead and show that horse really quick just so people can remember. That was a filly and mare stake race, the number 3 Creed's Gold, for a gentleman, guys, named Mark Cassie. He's good. He's really good. Sources coming from the Intercontinental against Pipsy, and Future is now at Saratoga. Obviously won a little bit more distance, and boy, only got 2 races on Tapeta, guys, but wow, that horse, only a 4-year-old filly as well. This horse is one to look out for. Rafael Hernandez won at 9-2. So congrats to anyone who might have had Creed's Gold there at Woodbine. That was extremely impressive, guys. All right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. Jackson, I think you're going to be leaving us pretty soon. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let me set the stage here before we take a short commercial break. Matt's going to be staying on, I believe. I'm not sure how long. But Chris, you're going to be staying on. I think the next race we're going to talk about when we come back, guys, is going to be Saratoga, because Monmouth is over, right? So it's going to be
Saratoga in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Race number 10.
Perfect. So let's do this. Let me go ahead and get a banner up on the screen that is not the scrolling one. Jackson, any final thoughts for the rest of the day as you leave us here? Really appreciate Jackson Muniz coming on. Jackson, tell them where we can find you as well. I know you're on Gallop Out with Ryan. You're on ABR. You're in the money. I mean, is there anywhere you're not on?
A little bit everywhere right now. Gallop Out, going to ABR after this, actually. So we're going to cover the Indiana Derby, Indiana Oaks, be on the Gallop Out, be on the money this week, be on PHP on Tuesday. So a lot going on, a lot of fun. Intellect's going to win the next race at Saratoga. Hammer him. Good luck in the contest, guys.
Just
right to the car for ABR, or you're going to stay in the room?
Today I'm going to stay in the room, but back on Tuesday, the Honda Handicapper will return. I can promise you that.
There we go. With maybe a cat sighting on the hot tin roof of
maybe
the car.
a possum this time. I'm going to try to switch it up.
Oh, nice. All right, round of applause for Jackson. Jackson, thanks for coming on, my friend. Good job. Let me go ahead and put that on. We're going to be right back, like it says on the bottom of the screen, after a short break. Give everyone a chance to catch their breath. We're going to go to Saratoga, coming back for a grade stake on the turf. You're watching the HHH Racing Podcast live right here on show number 1 of Weekend Warriors. We'll be right back, everyone. Stay with us. All right, we're back, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Howard Kravitz along with Matt Miller. Chris Walsh will be back in just a moment. The Grade 3 Kelso is coming up next. If you're not familiar with Matt Miller, I'm not sure why you're not. Not only is one of my best friends, but also an excellent contest player as well. We will talk about the contest a little bit after this race, Matt. I want to focus more on the handicapping. Excuse me one moment. Let me just ask you a question because I'm going to go up and show the race here. It's the Grade 3 Kelso. Are you playing this race in the contest?
You need a drink right after the break. That's interesting.
I didn't really get one during the break.
That's fair. You do work hard. You work a lot harder than people understand.
I'm trying.
I do not have a direct play in the contest. This is more just a strategy talk than anything else.
Okay.
I'm using a cash play here to hopefully set up a contest play. So
okay.
In a strange way, the cash play I'm making is using my second choice in the race where I plan to really smash something. And that will give me a little bit more confidence to do that if I'm already alive to something else. So nothing too insane here. I'm spread primarily to the 2 and 4. I've got a teeny bit with the 8. I'm seeing a comment in the chat that the 6 Mountain Bear is acting up. But I believe, if I remember right, Howard, you like the 2 quite a bit. And as you know, I rely quite a bit on that opinion. So that's where most of my cash play is going through to try to set up that tournament play.
Intellect is a horse I do like. I have one major concern, Matt, and it's pretty simple, and that is just this turf course is not really playing to closers. He is a closer, no doubt about it. As we are speaking, Matt, right now, I'm about to be going all in. I will explain I'll talk about my play in a little bit. I'd rather not say exactly what it's going to be, obviously, during the race here, but I am making an all-in play here. I only have $160 left, so it's not, really anything dramatic here, but I am going to go ahead. And when I say dramatic, I mean, there's only so much I can win in this race, but I am going all in here. Again, I prefer not to say what I'm doing, but it's about, do you agree in general with me? Again, we're not showing the scoreboard here, but based on where I am, probably in the 20s right now, but still, way behind, that it's about time for me to make a shove.
Yeah. Without knowing your picks, I would take your $160 and I would either be playing a single double into nitrogen or a couple of doubles. If you don't like nitrogen, you could probably afford a couple of horses in the next race, but I think you'll then need to be prepared to act in the last. I still think with the BCBC seat up for grabs, that total required to win today is going to be higher. So yes, I think now is exactly when you need to act, and I would use the double to get some leverage if you've only got $160.
Okay, well, act I did. Let me double check. Chris, your thoughts on this race? I'm not going to show the PPs right now. I'll show them in a minute. But your thoughts on this race is there's 2 minutes to post, Chris.
4-7 double. Same thing. Pick 5. We talked about it earlier.
4-7. So you like Donegal momentum here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you talk about why? Your thoughts here?
It's like a hostile witness. I mean, it's just one word answers, Chris. Come on. Why do you like him?
Hostile. I love that reference from the lawyer in the group. For some reason, I can't get over here, but let me rephrase.
While you're looking, he's getting bet. So now he's 5-2. He's the second choice. So most definitely the betting public sees something you're seeing.
Mm-hmm. And what I'm seeing here with Donegal momentum is one last time on the lead, the poker. Tom Morley again. Again, speed on the inner turf is usually king, right? Like if you're, this horse won at Fairgrounds, 4 back, sitting 3 lanes off. I think it doesn't need to be on the lead here, can just sit right off of it. Castellano with Morley, just taking a quick look at that. Or they're only 12%, but I just like the horse here. I think it has just an incredible speed advantage here, and we'll go to the lead and get it done, right? Like I'm not looking for anything crazy here. And then in the next, onto the nitrogen, and not trying to get too crazy or too, one way or the other. I know Intellect with Chad and Flavian, didn't get it done in the poker back there on 6-5. And I'm hoping it doesn't get it done here. So I realize it's third off the cycle here, which is a big deal for a lot of people. But that's just kind of where I'm going. I mean, I'm going to look at where the money's going and everything. I mean, you look at a 2-7 is paying 4-1. Right now, the 4-7 is paying 9-2. I might Dutch something there just in case. But, I think it's between those two horses. Win for the money, sure. Again, big dropper coming back down to $180,000 race here for Cassie and Dylan Davis, who did boot home a nice winner before that knocked me out of the pick 5. But those are my thoughts.
Intellect guys came home in sub 22, 21 and 4. Absolutely flew. I think there's more pace in this race. I don't think they're going to let Dongle walk on the lead. This race is on the inner. So again, the way it's playing, it is playing speedy, but I don't think Big will be that far back. And I definitely don't think Arzak or Win for the Money will be that far back. You got the sound ready, Chris, for the poker here? Or sorry, for the Kelso?
Of course, they're getting ready to load right now. The one is going into the gate.
All right. So I personally need the number 2 Intellect. I'm not going to give my specific contest play, but your top choice, Chris, is the 4. And Matt, you're just playing do you have a top pick in this race? You're just playing a little cash by on the side.
Actually, 2 and 4 are equally best for me. So I'm with you guys.
Okay. I'm curious to see how aggressive Win for the Money, guys. The number 8 for Cassie, by the way, that's on the outside. I'm hoping selfishly that Intellect is not nearly as far back as he was last time. I know the 2 is going to flash home big late. The question is, can he get there in time? It's the grade 3 Kelso right here live on the HHH Racing Podcast. Good luck to everyone who's playing at Saratoga.
I like 3-1.
Little help from the assistant starters. And the Win for the Money will be the last one to load.
Looks like I'm pressing.
Of the Kelso. They're in the gate. And they're up in the Kelso. And Dongle Momentum broke alertly. Arzak has his usual early speed, and Intellect comes away in third. Win for the money.
They're not letting him get with it this time, guys.
In between those two. Then Mountain Bear and Neat is the distant trailer. Arzak is the quickest, and he sprints away. Leads it by 2.5 lengths. Dongle Momentum and Win for the Money second and third. And they're followed by Intellect and Think Big.
Love where Intellect is. Love.
3 seconds flat. A gap of 4 back to Mountain Bear, and Neat is at the back. Dongle Momentum wants to get to the front. He's now on even terms with Arzak. Arzak just in front once again by about a neck. A length and a half back. Win for the money.
We need more
hole, Flavian. Just find a hole, Flavian. That's all I need.
And Intellect side by side. This quintet covered by 3 lengths to clear Mountain Bear and Neat. 46 and 2. They're moving right along. And it is Arzak, Dongle Momentum.
Oh,
very
broke down.
Dongle Momentum has been pulled up. Dongle Momentum still running along, but was pulled up.
Stop, Flavian. Let's go, Flavian. Let's go, Flavian. Blow by.
Side, and in between those two is Intellect with a furlong left to
go. Go back, Flavian.
Was rest of the lead away from Arzak. Between horses, extreme outside Neat and Mountain.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
And shows that tough stretch kick to win the Kelso from Intellect. And in behind them, it was a photo for third for the money. And Neat.
Wow. Think big. Michael Stidham clearly can handle the 2 turns. This was the other one, Matt, that I was worried about. So I went all in, Matt, with doubles, Intellect into Nitrogen. I also played Intellect into another one. And I actually played a 2-3 exacta in this race, not a 3-2 exacta. So I'm out of the contest. I'm not going to blame Flavien. He might have moved a little bit early on intellect, but the hole was there, Matt and Chris, so he took it.
Oh, yeah.
Think Big is a very talented horse. He flopped last time going 5.5, but the 2 times before that, guys, if you recall, he was a complete monster. What a patient, nice ride by Jose Ortiz, 6-1 on Think Big. Chris?
I think the whole race changed when the 4 the 4 obviously Boat Attendant didn't go down, finished the race, went wide. Jock was unable to pull him up, which is usually a Boat Attendant in those situations, which is a long layoff and tough to come back from. I owned a racehorse that Boat Attendant got a 1.5 years off and did come back to win a Grade 3, which was nice, but just an unfortunate situation there. Everything changed when the 4 went wrong.
And I probably should have mentioned that first. I don't mean any disrespect to the connections or anyone. Obviously, we want the horse to be okay.
I mean,
actually, they're showing
galloping out here.
He's galloping out, so this is very bizarre. I don't.
He started running again. I mean, it was it might have just been a bad step. It was. You just knew it was wrong, but it didn't look catastrophic at the time.
I didn't expect to see this. He's galloping out like he just won the race. I mean,
he's galloping out, but the tendon is bowed, and you can do that, and you can see it in the motion right there where it's going, and now it's off the screen, but you can't see it anymore. But
Gilly's telling us he clipped heels, which that's obviously very different than an injury, but that's not what I saw. But
But he was clear on the outside in second. Who did he clip heels with other than his own heels? Right? He was clear. He was in the clear, stalking on the outside. Correct, Chris?
Yeah, but if you get clipped in the back, that
from the back. We'll have to watch that. Well, we're not going to be able to watch it again, but that was bizarre. Okay, well, thankfully he's okay. Number one, the horse is okay. At least appears that way. You know what, Matt? In a weird way, the fact that the hole was there for Flavien, maybe actually if the 4 was still in the race, maybe the 2 could have come over the top later and he would have won the race because he had to move sooner because the hole was there. I mean, intellect moved much sooner than he has ever done before. I don't blame Flavien, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I have no issue with the ride at all. He just lost. But he usually makes his move later, Matt. And when the 4 took that weird step, he saw that same hole the same way that Junior saw that hole earlier today on the dirt, but in a turf race with really nice horses in behind. I think that pushing the button a little bit early might have cost him. But again, you got to give all credit to Think Big, 132-4. Now this horse can stretch out, Matt. This horse is a nice sprinter going 5.5. He can go a mile. I don't know what they're going to do with this horse going forward. I have a gut feeling they're going to be looking to the Breeders' Cup Mile and thinking more mile distances now instead of 5.5, because Delmar, Chris, and Matt for the Breeders' Cup is 5 furlongs for the turf sprint. Not that he can't win at 5, but I don't know. What would you guys do? Would you think more turf sprint, or maybe continue to stretch him out here, or go 2 turns with Think Big? Any thoughts from you guys on that?
I would try again at what they just did.
Yeah,
I think so. What a ride by Jose! What a ride! What a ride by Jose Ortiz! Unbelievable. I like the aggression by Arzak. I mean, it didn't work out, but we don't know, Chris, in all fairness to your pick, we have no idea what Donegal Momentum would have done, right? We don't know. Maybe he would have won. Respectfully, I don't think he would have, because I think he needed the lead. So we will never know, though. That's second win for Jose Ortiz today. Congratulations. Mike Stidham, Matt, is a trainer I've talked about in the show a lot because we know him very well from our Arlington days. He's just a really damn good trainer. If people don't know Mike Stidham, they better get to know him because he's been around for a while and he's very solid.
Yeah, he's like a Larry Ravelli type, where if you were ever in the same location as him, you had just massive respect. But I'm not sure that's a name that's nationally known otherwise. So, you're kind of lucky he's like a little bit of a good secret to have.
He's all over the place, man. He races at Tampa. He races at the big tracks. He races at the little tracks. He'll show up at Presque Isle during the week on things that I won't even notice because I don't look at that stuff, but he's all over the place.
Jim Plar's had that exact at 3-2. Look, I could have done that, Matt. I mean, but when you have an opinion, you have an opinion. I like, why back up my opinion? I wasn't. So if I had 3-2, I would have gotten 200. I would have $200 to play with, I guess. But I mean, that would have been better.
$160. What are you supposed to do? I mean, you can't get
I
that
know.
creative.
I had a double earlier in the contest. I just went for it. And by the way, the double to nitrogen was like 5-1 with intellect. So I would have gone up to like 1,000 some nitrogen still has to win the next race, but I think on the show I gave out 2, 3, 8. I'll have to go back and look at the show. So I had the right 3, Matt. You have to give credit, think big. So there you go, guys. Congratulations to anyone who had think big. Very exciting race, great race of the Kelso. Very nice effort. We are only now on Saratoga and Horseshoe, guys, I believe, left. Correct? We have still have Woodbine. I'm sorry. We got one more race of Woodbine in 5 minutes. The Oaks is 7 minutes at Horseshoe Indy. It's a very small race at Horseshoe, a small field, but let's go ahead and there. Let's see if we have, no, we don't have Kyle, so he just had some tech issues.
Well, if Kyle isn't putting an entertainment bet on number 4, Miami,
Sure.
there's something wrong with him.
There's the contest, Matt. Let's take a quick second, Matt. Your thoughts on the contest. You are in 7th right now. For those people that don't know what's going on, this is the NYRA Live Money contest. I'll make it bigger. There is a BCB seat online. So whoever wins this contest, Matt, wins a $10,000 BCBC seat. This is much, much more top heavy than the normal NYRA contest. So people are going to be firing big time at the end, you would think, although you and I, sometimes you never know here. I don't want to get into the weeds on the contest play here, Matt, but what number do you think, if you don't want to say it, that's fine, but what number wins this thing?
Not what's winning now.
Okay, there you go. That's fine. I mean, I'll answer for him. He's in the contest. That was not a fair question. And Matt might completely disagree. I'm going to say you need 3,000 minimum, I think, to win this thing. That's my opinion. We'll see. It depends what Tim Yoler does. I mean, anyone that's on this board, including where's our buddy Brad? Is Brad on here? Or is Brad out now? Link for Brad Anderson.
I think Brad is out.
Oh boy. Yeah, so everyone, it shows 170 for me there in 29th. I don't care that people know, Matt. It doesn't show 0 because I played a double, right, basically. So
doesn't matter.
It's not going to show that. So, but it looks like Brad might be out as well. I know a lot of people liked intellect. I have no shame for me. That's the way it is. Tony Joe, ultra dangerous in 3rd. Let's go to Horseshoe Indy for the Oaks. It's a small field, but it's one of the 2 big races they have here, guys. 3 minutes to the Oaks right now. The morning Clecote is 3-5. Wow. For Brendan Walsh, faces her nemesis. Last time faced Heavenly Sunset and beat her by a length and 3/4. And the price differential, Chris, is ridiculously big. 3-5 versus 7-2. How'd you see this race, Chris?
Let me pivot over there. I was at Woodbine because they're going to go up here in a few. I like the 1, Sturgeon Moon. Coming off
a layoff for Will Walden. Has some very nice works. This is sort of the fresh face in the race. Has to improve, but capable of taking some money here, 9-2.
24% off of a trainer change, 22% burst out. Was a highly considered 2-year-old. Works look good. Get Johnny Velasquez. Give me 9-2 on Sturgeon Moon. Obviously I respect the 2. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, but
hey, let me interrupt. We got Kyle Rosso. Kyle, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Are you good?
Hey.
All right. Yep, Kyle, you're on full screen. Go ahead, buddy. The Oaks. We were talking about how big a price difference there is between Clecote and Heavenly Sunset. Sort of surprising to me.
It really is. And the doubles kind of show that same thing. I mean, she opened at 1-5. So, I mean, there really is a good price discrepancy. I'm on the other side. I really do like Heavenly Sunset. Brian Aragoni, guy we wanted to have on the show, and he's a great guy. I talked to him many times today.
Oh, good.
He had Heavenly Sunset, Howard. You'll love it. He won the Gallop out last time versus Cleat Coat. So in the way the track's been playing, if Heavenly Sunset can beat Cleat Coat to the front, I mean, if the price discrepancy stays the way it is, I'd be a lot more inclined to take 3-1 versus 3-5. But here they go past me. I'll switch myself around here.
Looks like anything in the post parade or in the pack that stood out to you?
I mean, Heavenly Sunset looks absolutely fantastic. You can see she's right there in the Qatar Racing silks and the maroon. But Cleat Coat, I mean, they all look great. But Heavenly Sunset was ears pricked all the way through. Racing Rachel talked about her, and how she looked fantastic in the paddock. Other than that, I didn't really see anything else between all the rest of them. It really looks like a match race between the 2 and the 5.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. Chris Walsh was interested in the 1 Sturgeon Moon. How did she look off the layoff for Will Walden?
She looks really good, and actually Brian Aragoni had her on top in this race, above both the 5 and the 2. So take that for what it's worth. But you can see I'm looking at the pick 3 will pays right now: 121 to the 2, 151 to the 5. So obviously they're pretty close. We'll see how the odds come down in post time, but they're galloping past me right now to go warm up for the race. But looks like even though it's a match race, it'll be a very interesting one between the 2 Cleat Coat and the 5 Heavenly Sunset. And we got the Indiana Derby coming up next.
We do. It's very exciting. The Indiana Derby, by the way, is the last race, guys, that we're going to talk about here on the show. As I was just looking at Gulfstreams, they have a big pick 5 carryover there. The 5 won the race in the stake at Gulfstream. So, Kyle, your thoughts? You know what? How windy is it? And I know that people are going to laugh, but they shouldn't.
No.
And I asked that. Matt's laughing. I don't care. Well, I say it because there's a lot. That looks like a pretty strong wind into them. It's a headwind in the stretch.
Correct.
I've talked about this before. It is absolutely a thing. It is absolutely a thing. We see it. We saw it at Arlington. I see it at other tracks. When there's a heavy headwind into the stretch, logically, it's harder to close. Maybe that's part of the reason why speed is holding up. Is that a pretty good wind, or is it not really?
It's a decent wind, and it's decent wind into. You're exactly right. It's a pretty good headwind. It's not howling by any means, but It's a constant headwind in there. So, with everything on the track yesterday, with how rock hard the turf is and the dirt alike, the headwind definitely does not help. I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Matt.
And Howard, it's interesting you say that, because John G. Dooley, the announcer at this track and at Arlington, he would talk about that all the time, talking about the headwind, the tailwind. I laugh at you about weather, but there's no question it matters. There's no question.
Well, it also matters more at a track where it's really wide open. Now, obviously, I mean, Kyle, you're there. I don't think there's any large buildings around the track that prevent the wind from coming into the area, right? I mean, right, exactly. So, if you're at Saratoga, there's a lot of trees, or you're at other places, like in a more industrial area, like Hawthorne, but if you're like in a wide open prairie kind of setting, it could matter. Chris likes the 1. I'm going to chalk out with Cleat Coat, guys. I don't have anything clever. I'm not playing this race. In fact, I think I'm one of those days. I'm actually knocked out of all my horizontals now that I look at it. So I'm just here for S's and giggles here the last half an hour. 0 betting interest, but I might play something at the end. Kyle, what about that last race, man? We talked about what a cluster these Indiana bred turf races are. It sure ended up being that way. What is it, 24/10 or over 14/10 or something?
Yep, it's absolutely nuts. And Brian Aragoni said it best. He's like, just throw a dart at the dartboard. It's about as good as you get. Charlie, shout out to Charlie on the show that I like the 10 on top on the show, who ran third and a good closing third with all the speed that's been holding today. But yeah, Charlie liked the 5. I think he had him in third, so hats off to him. But yeah, there was, like I said, got out front, absolutely spurted away at the top of the stretch, which a lot of us didn't see here. But the contest here is actually huge. The leader of the contest loved that 5, and the winner of the contest in the last couple of years has been somewhere around 4,000. Try double that. She's at 8,000, alive to a ton more in horizontals in these next couple of races. So it could blow up this contest.
Okay. Matt, right to your left, above your left shoulder, Matt, and everyone who's watching, is a different QR code. This is a red QR code. This is for our Saratoga only Power Pick tip sheets. Please look into that right there, Matt, and thanks, Chris. Saratoga only Power Pick tip sheets. You get them Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Very profitable, very inexpensive. Please check it out. Go and click on that QR code. It'll take you to the website. It'll take us to a website, and you can learn more about the Power Pick tip sheet. There's it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Matt. So anyway, we also I'm not gonna bring it up right now, but we also have another QR code where we have a Saratoga and Delmar. You can get Saratoga and Delmar together. Actually, let's do this. And Chris, feel free to interrupt me, and you can stay on, Kyle, if you'd like.
Okay.
Chris, feel free to interrupt me when the time is right. But if you go to our website right here, there, hhhracingpodcast.com, you go to Power Pick Tip Sheet. There's a drop down. You can look into our Saratoga, our Delmar only, and then we have a special, a Saratoga and Delmar combination where there is a discount. So if you click on that, you get Saratoga and Delmar only Power Pick tip sheets. Those come out on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays of the Saratoga and Delmar meet. I know some people were confused, Chris. They thought the Saratoga meet started this weekend. We're technically at Belmont right now. Matt, it's okay. It won't bite you, Matt. It's okay. I'll tell you what, Matt. Let's take it off. It's off the screen. You're all good now. Okay.
We need an ultimate giveaway. Saratoga, Delmar Power Picks, and a Matt Miller book.
Whoa.
With a trivia question, maybe next Saturday.
Well, think about that. If we give all that for free, we're talking about a $320 value.
Exactly. Wow. But you're going to have to answer a tough trivia question quickly.
Whoa. All right.
Well, we'll talk about it. All right. We're in the gate in Indiana. We're going to go off here at the DR Daily Racing Forum, Indiana Oaks, race 11. Here we go.
Good luck, everyone.
On the HHH Racing Podcast.
That was so bad. That's amazing.
I try. I have the speaker and the goal horn ready for the one.
Or the two, please.
I was ready to hit the crush button for the intellect, but didn't happen.
Indiana Oaks, Clicko sharply away. There's Heavenly Sunset with an early bid. Top is right there too. Sturgeon Moon, Delaraine, the Royal Blue of Godolphin, and Goldeneye Magic has dropped back to last as they enter the first turn. It's Heavenly Sunset. Heavenly Sunset to the early lead for Luan Machado. Clicko in tight quarters and taken back. White cap is right there for the home team. Clicko's now running a third as Heavenly Sunset establishes very easy.
He finished the bowl.
As they go to the back
Look
of
at the whole. Oh, my
goodness. And Goldeneye Magic, the opening quarter for Heavenly Sunset, 23.18 seconds. Heavenly Sunset leads by 3/4 left. Top staying right there with the front runner, making this run toward the half-mile hole. Agarella's and Clicko. She's biding her time toward the inside. She's not too far off the pace set. Mike Smith, who's Delaraine into scoring range. There's a break of three more. The back of the field remain Sturgeon Moon and Goldeneye Magic in the orange cap. Half mile for Heavenly Sunset. 46.15 seconds with 3 furlongs to go. And here's a bid by Top. And Top is looking to take on Heavenly Sunset. But Fernando de la Cruz, it's Top. Bullies coming toward the quarter pole. Delaraine and Clicko, and here she comes. Clicko is right there, coming with a bid now, outside of Delaraine, as they try to close down Top.
This race should be over.
With Sturgeon Moon and Heavenly Sunset's dropped right away. 3/4 at 1:10, 1:36 seconds, and Clicko.
Boom, 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 boom.
Clicko pulling clear now by 3 from Top. Then Sturgeon Moon, Delaraine, and Goldeneye Magic is next. They're close to home. A toast to Clicko. Clicko, the delegation for Indiana Oaks, and Clicko well on top. Top with the runner-up. Sturgeon Moon third.
Wow.
Big win bet, big doubles going.
Matt, we got a new feature. I mean, Clicko was my top pick earlier this week in a bunch of things. So we got a new feature. You ready for it? First, we got to start with some music. Oh, hold on. Sorry. My bad.
Rush. Let's go. All right.
Even money. Wow. How proud.
And Howard, hats off to you with the heavy metal, because tonight is the last ever Ozzy Osbourne solo appearance and
Wow.
with Black Sabbath
Wow.
over
Okay.
in his hometown in England. And
Okay.
for you music fans, Oasis had a good show last night for those people that enjoy those types of things.
I'm going to say something very bold. This is a 3-year-old filly. This horse can run with any 3-year-old filly in the country, and I'm including Immersive or anyone. Why am I drawing a blank on who won the Oaks? I'm completely embarrassed now. Was undefeated. It wasn't. No.
Hit show.
Yeah.
No.
Hit Show didn't win the Oaks.
No, sorry. 2 words.
Chris, why am I drawing?
Cox.
Who the hell's the undefeated filly who was? No, the Godolphin horse. Well, what am I talking? I'm drawing a complete blank. I don't. Anyway.
I'm
Good cheer.
Good cheer.
Jeez,
That's
Louise.
it.
I'm just going to let you guys go on and on and on and on.
I think Clecote is a serious 3-year-old filly. We're going to see, Chris, I got to believe Alabama at this point. I don't know if she can go a 1.25 miles, but that's the logical spot. I think this is a serious horse. Quality Road out of a Tappet mare. I thought this before this race. I mean, she was really good last time. I know she got a perfect trip, but Heavenly Sunset sort of gave it up, Matt, and she was in a little bit of an uncomfortable spot, Cleco, once she got to the outside. I mean, again, not the toughest field. I'm curious to see what the number comes back. Tell me what you think in the chat. I think Clecote is a serious filly. I really do.
Kyle's horse got pressure the whole way. That was a tough go of it to be on the lead there.
Yeah, but she gave it up to a longer shot, though, so I don't...
Agreed. I hate to see that. I hate that.
Yeah.
But for those who want to poo-poo an even money shot, I think those doubles I'm looking at are 6 and 8 to 1. I think that's boom worthy. I'm not sure how crazy I go just for even money. Sometimes I do, but yeah, 6 to 1, 8 to 1. I mean, that nets out to something pretty decent.
We got Kyle Roscoe and a bush behind.
Oh.
Let's see. I don't know if you see. We're going to talk to a shrubbery. Kyle, you there?
Howard, I'm going to step out for a minute.
I am here. Yep.
Okay, Chris. Kyle, that was really impressive by Clecote.
Oh, I mean, yeah. What are you going to say? It was a perfect ride. Kept her by Edgar Morales. Kept her in the whole time, and it was the only horse to pass a horse down the stretch today on the dirt so far. So, always impressive. And like I agree with you, Howard. They got to go somewhere nice with her, because it'll be interesting to see what the buyer comes back as. But that was a huge run.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what he said, but I said earlier, Kyle. I'm not. This is not exaggeration. I think this horse can run with good cheer, immersive. I think this horse is as good as any 3-year-old dirt filly in the country. I think she's really talented.
Well, outside of good cheer, immersive as well. There's really no one. So, there's someone that's going to step up and fill that void. And I did hear the Alabama conversation, Howard. I mean, if she can run 1.25 miles, which, it might be the next logical step for her, I don't see why. And Brendan Walsh obviously is no stranger to taking big shots like that. Why not? Let her see what she can do.
Yeah, it'd be a big stretch out, but that was super impressive. Did you think that your horse just took too much pressure? She just didn't really fire, to be honest.
Honestly, yeah. I was gonna say, honestly, after last race, she was just terrible. Like, there's no sugarcoating that. And I'll eat it when I'm wrong. You know that. We all will when we're wrong on the HHH Racing podcast. But yeah, just wrong, and that's the way it goes. And it wouldn't follow my day if she didn't, fold in like that so far.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of a rough day today, but we did like Cleco. Speaking of 3-year-old fillies, Kyle, and speaking of Benton and Boozin as well, we got another 3-year-old filly coming up on the turf at Saratoga. I don't know if you looked at the nitrogen race, Kyle, the Belmont Oaks, but if you did happen to look at it, we just lost Kyle. Okay.
Well, tell me about it.
You there, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Kyle, I don't know if you looked at the Belmont Oaks. We were 5 minutes of the Saratoga race. Are you for or against nitrogen? She's 1-5 right now.
Oh my! I mean, you wouldn't expect anything else from nitrogen, but I mean, I got to be for her at this point. There's a lot of other horses that are really interesting. I think it's a 3.
All right, Kyle's going in and out, guys. What? Kyle, you're going in and out. Try one more time, my friend.
No worries. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
It's probably the track
The
internet.
3 is interesting, but it's about as good as it is normally. And Horseshoe, like I said, I'm a little away from the building, so I apologize to everybody. I think there's a couple interesting fillies to run underneath. I know you like one underneath, Howard, specifically. I believe it's the 3, if I'm not mistaken, who I think is also very interesting underneath. But at this point in Nitrogen's career, she's done absolutely nothing wrong. I would be hammering a decently hard 7-3 as soon as I get back to my seat, if I get back there in time.
All right, Kyle, we'll come back to you for the big one, the Indiana Derby. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, Kyle Roscoe at Indiana Grand. Wouldn't be a shock that he's enjoying a beverage, Matt, on a hot day. Does he really need a hot day to enjoy a beverage? Probably not.
I think at this point, given how the betting went, it's now just boozing.
Matt, I'm going to bring up, and I mean, it's fair to say again, I'm looking at the contest right now for Naira, and there was congrats to Naira for seeding the pool with a BCBCC, because there were, I don't know, like 150, 160 some players there. I'm trying to see how many exactly, but I mean, there's only, let me just put it this way. There are 42 people that have $100 or more, and there are 10 people that have 500 or more, including yourself, my friend. The leader's at 18, second place 1100. Again, I know you don't want to give away your contest play. I'm not asking you, but there's a few things that are obvious here. First of all, you have a 1 to 5 shot Nitrogen. I'm going to bring Chris back on here. Matt, that there's going to be a lot of people playing either doubles or exactas with Nitrogen. If Nitrogen happens to lose, and I'm not saying she will, but if she happens to lose, this contest board is going to go crazy. If she wins, you're going to see big movement, but maybe not necessarily until the end of the next race. There's going to be a lot of hidden money with doubles. So this is a fascinating situation, Matt. Let me just ask you this question. Do you think a lot of people are going to play inner race here and play exactas and tries, or maybe lean towards the double angle? What's your thought on that?
I think, let's
here's
go
the board. Here's the leaderboard again.
Let's go with conventional wisdom first. Conventional wisdom says don't tie up your money in a daily double if you don't know that the total you're going to hit is good enough. So there is risk in betting daily doubles in the last race of a contest. You could get stuck. And it's funny, I know Brad Anderson's in the chat. He's probably thinking of the 2019 Breeders' Cup, where he was alive to 3 horses in the last race for over 6 figures, none of which total would have been good enough to beat the leader. And so as great of a feat as that was, it was also a fail at the same time. He wouldn't have done it that way had he known. So I think people are going to shy away from the double. And I'd say contest players of the live money variety in general tend to think that it's a bit more stylish to win with exactas and tries than with win bets and doubles. And so my guess is you're going to see some pretty large exactas here, and probably some people then chilling in the last race or not going super crazy.
The last race is going to have a pretty heavy favorite also in the number 11, very cleverly named, especially if you're a fan of movies, Captain Jack Sparrow, I believe. Jack Sparrow, I think, is the pronunciation for you Johnny Depp fans out there. Chris, your thoughts in the Belmont Oaks? Look, Nitrogen's really, really good. I'm always the kind of guy that's trying to beat 2 to 5 shots if I think they're beatable. Nitrogen's really good. I talked about the number 3, Totally Justified. Let me go ahead and bring up that horse. How are we doing on time? We got a few minutes here?
Yeah,
not much.
You're good.
All right, let me just bring up Totally Justified, and I will justify my reasoning. Whether I'm right or not, we'll see. I will know right away, guys, if this horse I'm bringing on screen has any shot at all. And I'm going to know right away, Matt and Chris, because I think she needs to go to the lead. She was involved in a hot pace last time and hung around and lost to Fionn, who's also in this race. There's not a lot of other speed in this race. The only real early speed in this race is the number 2, Opulent Restraint. I just don't see Rosario being more forward than Saez. The break is going to matter. Nitrogen's going to be really tough to beat in this race, but if, and I'm saying if, the number 3, Totally Justified, can get the lead and slow it down, I think she's dangerous. This is a Justified filly Matt who's improving. Galileo on the dam side. I'm not worried about distance. Obviously, the complete monster here is Nitrogen at 2-5, who's done absolutely nothing wrong and is the most likely winner in this race by far. They are going 1 mile and 1/8, so that's one thing. And the other thing, I know some very sharp people are interested, Chris, in Mayday Ready, who is really a turf horse who only finished a length and a half off of Lake Victoria, Matt, in the Breeders' Cup last year. Chris, this horse is getting back to turf at 10-1 for Dettori.
It is, but I'm pivoting off of that one. Beaten a bunch last out in 25 lengths. I'm still on Nitrogen. 7-2-1 is my exacta. 7 over the 2 and the 1.
If I were in the contest, Matt, I was planning to play a big 7-3 exacta and a very small saver 3-7. To be honest, I wasn't planning on playing the double because I don't think the value is there in the double, in my personal opinion. But I'm not alive, so it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, 2-5 is too small for a win bet, Matt, in a contest. Let's say someone's got $1,000. I mean, it makes no sense to put a win bet on this horse at all at 2-5, does it? To win $400? I mean,
I wouldn't do that. Not at this stage of the game. I mean, I do believe in setting a target and working your way backwards. And if at some point a 40% bump in your bankroll would help you to get there, I don't think betting a 2-5 shot is crazy. I'm not sure for many of the people in this particular tournament right now that a 40% bump is that helpful. And so it's for that reason I wouldn't be betting it to win at this point. If this was the first race of the contest, yeah, sure, I could see doing that. For me, I don't want to give away too much here, but it's fair to say I'm trying to go against the conventional wisdom.
Okay, I like it. And for you, that's a little interesting. By the way, Noah Maher, Kyle's not on anymore. Sorry, Noah. Looking good, Kyle. Have a drink for me, man. Noah Maher does an excellent job. Of course, he's host of Pacific Horse Players and intern at Thoroughbred Daily News. Yes, Matt.
As soon as this race is over, we need to talk about Noah and what he's doing at Indy today. I'll just leave the group in suspense.
Noah at Indy?
That's what I said.
We're going in the gate.
Okay.
In suspense. Here you go. Let's go, Nitrogen.
Going into the gate for the Grade 1 fillies 3-year-olds and filly 3-year-olds, the $500,000 Belmont Oaks Invitational Stakes. Good luck.
7-3 gets me off for the day, Matt. I bet enough, and that exacta pays well enough to do that. So I need this 3 to get to the lead badly, or a very slow pace at least.
With the HHH.
Good luck to everyone.
Podcast.
They're in the gate.
They're in the gate.
And they're off in the Belmont Oaks Invitational. Mayday Ready up in the air at the start of the class. Opulent Restraint broke the likely Totally Justified. Nitrogen third. Then it's Warming in a good spot fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Fian is next, racing on the outside of Virgin Colada. And at the back of the field, the trailer is Mayday Ready. The opening
Is it like a pina colada?
Opulent Restraint went in 23 seconds flat, opening up to lead it by 5 lengths. Totally Justified in second, and the favorite Nitrogen reserved in third. They're followed by Warming. Fian is next. Another 2 back to Virgin Colada and Mayday Ready. It is Opulent Restraint. Loose on the front end, has a 3-length cushion on Totally Justified in second. Jose Ortiz and Nitrogen still cruising along. A length and a half in front of Warming, who's 5 lengths off the lead. The half in 46 and 3. Moving into the far turn. Fian has 5 lengths to make up. Then Virgin Colada and Mayday Ready. Opulent Restraint. Nitrogen gets and starts to gather some momentum in second. Opulent Restraint has been alone on the front end. Nitrogen second. Fian running a good race on the outside third, followed by Warming in fourth. On the
Come on,
outside,
Chief.
Stay
there.
In the final furlong and nitrogen comes the opulent restraint who's fighting her hard to link back, being trying to pull off the upset and it's finishing with very nice strides. It's nitrogen in front. Opulent restraint comes back, and here's Rian surging on the outside. Here's the line.
Oh,
Holy shit.
wow. 5 got it.
Nitrogen and Jose Ortiz look to in the Belmont Oaks Invitational.
Sorry, Matt. I know Matt doesn't look happy. Fionn, 144 and 4/5. Oh my goodness, that is complete. That's got to be a track record. This is a 1.125 miles, right? I mean, that is insane time. Wow, Opulent Straight ran a monster race on the inside. Nitrogen just had a really tough time going by, and Fionn, I believe, got Nitrogen right at the end. We're watching the photo here. Everyone's watching at home. Oh, yeah. Oh, barely. They already put it up. Nitrogen actually got the bob, Chris, but Fionn, Flavian Pratt. I mean, wow, what a setup, though. Unbelievable setup for the number 5, Fionn, Flavian Pratt over Nitrogen, over Opulent Straight. If that time is correct, Chris and Matt, again, 144.84. That's got to be a track record. I don't know what the track record is. That was on the outer there. They went 110. They went 110 to the 3/4, 133 to the mile, and still came home in 11.7. Actually, Fionn came home in about 11.5. Nitrogen ran a huge race, Matt. You don't look really happy. You can, I guess, if you want to say what you did. Were you all in there, Matt? I hope not.
Of course.
Sorry.
Well, what do you think I did?
Well, you're going against the grain, you said. So at first I thought you'd be, I mean, I know you. You had to play something Nitrogen. I mean, I have no, maybe you played the exacta with Fionn and just lost it. I don't know. The other way around? I don't know.
I played an all-in double into Captain Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, but who? Nitrogen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
why is that against the grain? Why is that against the grain for you?
Because people aren't supposed to play doubles in the last races of contests.
Got it.
But I was blowing out the total by so much that it didn't matter. So I just needed a simple win here, and the 2 favorites to win. And so that was just crushing.
Oh God.
Yeah, I thought I had that 7-2 exacta, but
what was the double, Matt?
I don't even know. It was 4 and change the last time I looked, and for the $650 I was putting on it, it was plenty. So I didn't mind the fact that if someone was going to have a bigger total than that going into the last race, then they were just going to get me. But I didn't mind at all committing to that $2,500 number or whatever it was. That was my target for the total. That was my target for the tournament.
Yeah, Matt, I'm sorry for you, Matt, but let's talk about Noah Maher. What's going on at the Indiana contest? Is he rocking?
Yeah. So let's go over to there real quick. Hold on.
I can't. Is it online? The
yeah,
contest.
He's playing in the Twin Spires contest, and he's doing
the Twin Spires contest. Pull that up.
He right now, with 1 race to go, is sitting at $402 in first place. Second has 311. And first place on this contest pays $731. So he's killing it.
Wait, which is this? Is there any CC? Wait, hold on a second.
No. This is just a cash tournament, $100 entry.
Oh, $100 entry on Twin Spires. Okay.
No, this is.
There it is. I see it.
The $100 entry.
Here it is.
75 the bankroll, 25 the price.
Here it is. Let's represent for the crew here. Hold on a second. There it is. PNC. Way to go, Noah. He's got 1 race left here, right? 1 race? Yeah.
Yes. 1 race. That's it.
So Noah Maher in the $100 Indiana Derby Challenge contest is in first here with $402. Nice job, Noah. Keep it up, man. He's got 1 race left, and the winner gets, there it is, the top there. Winner gets $731. All right, Noah, keep it up, man.
I've convinced him to push all in.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I was waiting for you to yell at me. And by the way,
Well, I just want to see. You can see the plays there. He made a big play in race 6. He had a double. He played a double 3 with 6 for $75. That's what got him to the 405. There you go.
Yep.
Nice job, Noah. Excellent.
And show laxed, as we like to say, just
Right.
betting the minimums as he went.
All
By
right.
the way, that is wife of Chris Couples, Amanda. I think she was in 5th, and so good luck to her.
All right.
Well, Howard, he has to get to the eligible races are 1 through 13, so he has to survive this one and race 13.
Oh, really? That's amazing. Usually it
well,
yeah.
Nice to know nice to know his advisor knows. Nice to know that his advisor knows the rules.
Yeah, really.
The third bullet point, Matt, shows the eligible races are races 1 through 13.
Oh, no. I knew that. No. The 13th is a normal race. The reason I'm saying surprise is sometimes at Indy, often at Indy, the last race is a quarter horse race.
Yep.
And they specifically exclude that from these contests. So I was going to be very surprised if they included one of those. But no, this is just, I think in the industry they call it a get me out race, where after the big race of the day, they have one more to kind of thin out the crowd a little bit.
Well, actually, Matt, the last race at Indy on race 13 is for Appaloosas.
Lovely. So good luck with that one, Noah. I have.
I'm kidding.
Wait, is that a quarter horse race?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's a regular horse race.
It's a thoroughbred main special weight on the turf.
This is no disrespect to people playing the contest, but since all of us are out, we're not really going to show this after this. But again, that is misleading. Well, Matt, you already said it, so people don't have me. Matt's out. Tony Joe looked like he might have sat in that race, which is interesting, or maybe he's got doubles. I don't know. We don't know. Again, when you look at these contests, ladies and gentlemen, these live money contests, if someone played a double, let's say nitrogen into like what Matt did, it's not going to show that their money is gone because it's a 2-race wager. So the money's not gone until that wager ends, which is technically the next race. So more people might be out, but again, Tim Yoler is in first. That I'll tell you what, if Intellect had won and I would have lost that way, Matt, for $1,000,
that would have been tough.
I am an emotional guy, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna hide our emotions here on this show, at least not when I'm hosting. Chris, your thoughts on Fiona? I mean, Nitrogen ran a monster race. So
Let me interrupt for a second because I hear noise in the hallway and I've got a hard stop. Just the one other point I want to make, and I'm not trying to sound defensive about it, but again, from a tournament standpoint, what I did just see on that leaderboard was validation of my strategy to go for a double. It's not like someone's sitting at a number bigger than what my double would have paid. They may end up hitting something bigger, but it's just a crushing feeling when you look up at. So that would have been, if Nitrogen had won that race, that would have been a very nervous moment for me, updating that board, making sure the total wasn't too high. But okay, it is what it is. All right. Thanks, everybody. Right. Fun to be here. Good luck, Noah. Fun show.
Thanks, Matt. Enjoy dinner. Take care.
All right.
Say hi to the missus for me. All right.
I will.
Matt Miller, everybody. Have a good one.
All right. Chris, you and I are going to close it out. We thank Matt for being on the show. Really appreciate it. It's been an awesome show, number one, Chris. I hope, again, the first time that I've been working through some tech that I don't always work with and 4 different tracks. And, when your tracks running on top of each other, Chris, I would have liked to show another live race or two at Monmouth or Woodbine. But I want everyone to know, listening and watching at home, when Woodbine and Monmouth have their big stake races coming up this summer, grade stakes, I promise you will not miss those races. We'll have the video for every single big race at Monmouth except for the Haskell. That is strictly to Fox. Actually, I think the United Nations, I can't recall if that's one we can show or not, Chris. I have to talk to Ryan Anderson about that one. I can't remember if that was one we can show. We cannot show the Haskell on the screen, but everything else we'll be able to show. As I'm just looking at the group chats lighting up there. Chris, your thoughts on Nitrogen and Fiona? And what a thrilling race.
It was thrilling. I mean, I thought I had the 7-2 exact at home, and then Flavian Pratt came and ruined my day, and you run second, third there. Right? So those things can happen. But, we pivot. We got 6 minutes to a Horseshoe Indianapolis. We've got the Derby there going off here in 6 minutes, Howard.
Yeah,
We'll have the hour, the audio up, and then we'll kind of wrap it up from there.
Yep.
But what are your thoughts on this race? You have a lot of also-rans. You got Publisher, Coal Battle, Velasquez on Tip Top Thomas, Big Truz coming in to who is the current favorite. Instant Replay, Brother Kenny, who is a long shot, along with Master Controller.
On my Power Pick tip sheet, I have Publisher as a price spot play. I believe might be my play of the day. Chris, I have a little bit of a fault of mine. We all have our strong suits and weak spots, right? I tend to be a little bit too loyal at times. Publisher's probably been ours on a Power Pick spot plays probably 3 times. Excuse me. I think he's really talented, Chris. I don't like the way this track is playing for him, though, at all. So, of course, I didn't know that when I made the pick. I'll tell you who I don't like, Coal Battle. I've had enough of Coal Battle. Really nice horse, nice story. These other horses, to me, are getting better. And I don't like Coal Battle at all. Not even a little bit at 2-1. In fact, I'm shocked this horse is favored. If I were to take, I'd rather take Big Truz at 2-1, who, frankly, I'm not sure will get the distance either. Well, perfect time as you bring Kyle in right now to talk about. We'll go full screen, Kyle, here. Thrilling, really exciting finish in New York. But, of course, you got the Indiana Derby here. A few minutes to post. I am totally against Coal Battle. What are your thoughts here in the Indiana Derby, my friend?
I agree with you completely. You know my love and Charlie's love for Big Truz. So hopefully we'll get him home, and the way that everything's been going with the track, hopefully it can continue. Obviously, the only question is the distance. I know you like Publisher a lot. I don't know if you continue to stick with him throughout all this, obviously, with the conveyor belt. But
yeah, that's a problem.
But Coal Battle's being well liked at 5-2 right now. I would not take that price on him personally. Nope. But then you got Tip Top Thomas, who's taking a lot of money too, and I'm sure that's based on the track profile as well. We'll see if he classes up to the distance. But honestly, after the couple of years, that we've had, like Dragoon Guard win last year, this is actually a very, very good rendition of the Indiana Derby.
Physically, we see Big Truz right there on your phone there, the 7. Physically, Kyle, and you've seen a lot of horses in your day. Does this horse look like he gets 2 turns to you physically?
He looks a little smaller, and he looks like he can get 2 turns, at least to me. When you compare him to someone like, Instant Replay, obviously you have the big long shot Brother Kenny right across from him. Big Truz is a little bit smaller, but to me, there's no reason why he can't get 2 turns, especially he's Curlin mare, I believe, as well. Again, obviously I don't have the PPs in front of me, so please feel free to correct me. But Big Truz being out of a Curlin mare, hopefully the distance should be no trouble, but 2-1. I'll tell you what, Howard. I don't know what you guys thought about the money coming in here. We'll see how it changes, but I did not see 2-1 on this horse. Maybe 5-2, 3-1 at most.
I'd much rather go with Tip Top Thomas at 3-1, or even Big Truz at 2-1, or Instant Replay at 4-1. I'm surprised Coal Battle's taking this much money. I guess it's because who he's been facing. Chris, what were your impressions of Coal Battle as we see them parading right in front of Kyle here, about 20 feet away?
Check them out. I'm on the 9-6 here, Howard.
9-6 instant. So you like the Brad Cox horse? Tell us why, Chris.
Tip Top Thomas, I think, if he can get near the lead and whatnot and rate off of that, he can do well. I think he can improve on that. I think Instant Replay, coming from off the pace, can get there. But he can't be 6 lengths at back like he was at Fairgrounds back in February when he came off that layoff. He needs to be closer based on the track's playing, which is why I would primarily put him in second. But Tip Top Thomas, I think Velasquez is going to get after him and get him out there, near the lead or close enough to the lead to get it done. And I think Coal Battle will do what he's been doing, is just hold it in and not get there. But, you do have to remember that Coal Battle, is coming off of grade 3, a grade 1, a grade 1, and a grade 2. And, potentially wake out, but I'm kind of throwing that one to the wayside.
Kyle, what about Tip Top Thomas? I think this horse might be the most talented horse in this field, to be honest. But again, I'm concerned about the 2 turns. Of course, I said that about Moplex 2 weeks ago in Ohio when I was wrong about him.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both on that day. But look, if again, especially the way the track's playing, dude, I mean, if Tip Top Thomas gets to the front, the whole key to this race, to me, at least on the pace scenario side, is the number 2 Master Controller.
I agree.
Does he class up to someone, to a horse, with a horses like this? No, probably not. However, if you're talking about just pace scenario, if he beats like horses like, Tip Top Thomas to the lead, that could throw a whole lot of stuff out of whack. But my hope is that, Master Controller doesn't class up, doesn't get to the front. Someone like Tip Top Thomas sits there. And for me, a fan of Big Truz, hopefully he can sit somewhere just off, maybe, just like maybe the Clicquot type trip and come up at the top of the stretch. That's the hope.
I think the horse that's going to trip out is Big Truz. I mean, if they break you like you think, the 2 is going to send, but he's probably not good enough. Cold Battle, I think, will sit a little bit. And Tip Top Thomas has to go, and Big Truz will just follow him. So I think Big Truz is either right off of Tip Top Thomas, or if they really go hot, he's like a length or 2 lengths off them, sitting behind the speed. I think it'd be a major mistake if you like Big Truz to be like 3-4 wide on this first turn. They've got to read the break and see what happens here. You don't want this horse wide into a speed duel, obviously.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And obviously that'll be the break. But you look at the inside, like Publisher should be nowhere near the front, and the horse right to his inside, Tip Top Thomas, just go with him. Obviously read the break, but both horses outside and Brother Kenny and Instant Replay, you shouldn't have to you shouldn't have to look at them as terms from a pace scenario standpoint. So I'm really hoping that Tip Top Thomas hits the front and Big Trust sits right off, just like you said.
Chris, how do you envision Instant Replay winning? Obviously, you want he's not a dead closer, but he's also not really speedy. I'm assuming you want an honest pace and have him sit, maybe second to last and make a big run. I guess my concern with him is he can be too far back, I guess, but he's going to have to show a little bit of speed, right, Chris?
Yeah, he has to do what he did in the last, which was on the slop. He's got to break second. He's got to be close enough within 2 lengths of the lead to get anything done. Now, he did that on the slop. And when you look at the rest of the races that he's run on, good conditions and whatnot, he hasn't done that. And that's the hard part with Instant Replay, which is why I like Tip Top Thomas on top. I think Tip Top Thomas can get into the exacta. I'm just hoping Cole Battle, poops the bed and Master Controller, doesn't break well.
Chris, if Tip Top Thomas is ever going to win, a grade stake going 2 turns this year, this is a great spot for it. The way this track is playing, he's talented. He's got to break really well. Kyle, I don't know if you know, but our buddy Noah Maher, host of Pacific Horse Players, is in first right now in the $100 Twin Spires contest for a Horseshoe Indy with 2 races to go. The winner gets about $750. So good luck to. I'm not sure what he's playing here, Kyle, but I do know he's got our friend Matt Miller on speed dial, so they're discussing it right now. Again, your top pick, Kyle, in the Indiana Derby.
I like Big Truz. Big Truz all the way. Hope he's sitting right off. But anyway, guys, however you play, good luck, and I'll definitely see you after the race.
All right, we'll talk after the race for a minute, Kyle. Thanks. All right, Kyle Roscoe live there at Indiana. Go ahead, Chris. Did you want to say something?
We're heading to the gate here, Howard.
Okay.
I'm going to mute the audio until we start the loading process, which should be probably in the next 90 seconds. And then we'll wrap up the show, and we'll be with you back here again next week on Saturday, right?
Yes, the plan is to be here next Saturday. I'm actually going to be, I haven't really announced this too much yet, but I will be live. Sorry, I won't be live. I will be in Saratoga with Patrick Kunzel and a friend of his. Patrick, of course, co-host of Betting and Boozing. So I'll be at Saratoga next weekend. The first time, Chris, I've been at Saratoga twice in a summer. I'm going in early August as well with the whole group in general. But this is just a smaller trip with myself and Patrick and a friend of his. I'm not sure about how all the shows are going to run. We'll get into that. We are planning on doing this again next weekend. I will not be hosting. I know that for sure. But I might pop in. But here we go, Chris. Go ahead. Set up for us, Chris.
Here we go. We're in the gate. We've got the one horse loaded. And we're getting off to the Grade 3, $300,000 Indiana Derby live here on the HHH Racing Podcast.
I'm going to go with number one publisher. I've been chasing this horse for a long time. Still a maiden, by the way, the number one publisher. 4-1 last odds I just checked for Mike.
Jimmy Tip Top Thomas. Good luck.
For instant replay. Big Trust 2-1 favorite.
I don't know if 2-1 is a big favorite, but with Cole Battle 2-1 as well.
And General in the Indiana Derby. Tip Top Thomas. Cole Battle is right there along with Master Controller, who's showing the speed for Chris Amy to just lead Tip Top Thomas.
Very fast. This is fast.
That's the trip at 16th.
West Slopes is next in fourth. Then toward the inside publisher with instant replay. And Brother Kenny has dropped back to last. It's Master Controller. It's Master Controller who dictates the field at 49-1. Tip Top Thomas infusing more pace into Master Controller. And they're fighting for this lead as they go up the back of the track. With Full Battle running in third. Big Trust running in fourth. Publisher ground saving fifth. Instant replay is running by. And Brother Kenny still trails. The opening quarter 23.43 seconds. Tip Top Thomas at Master Controller. They continue to battle head to head to a half mile from home in the Indiana Derby. As Publishers looking to draw in, but held up there. Big Trust coming with a move right now, and Full Battle is right there. As they enter the far turn, Publishers now running in fifth. Brother Kenny's up one spot in instant replay.
Come on, Mikey, one time up the inside.
0.01 seconds. Tip Top Thomas leads coming toward the quarter pole. And Cole Battle.
Fine room, Mikey.
From the top of the stretch. Big Trust is right there with Brother Kenny on the far outside. Publisher is next. Then instant replay. Master Controller is last. They're homeward bound 3/4 in 1:09.33 seconds. Tip Top Thomas a furlong away with Johnny Velasquez. Tip Top Thomas tackled by Cole.
Come on, Tip Top.
Past the 60 and Publisher now angles out. Brother Kenny on the outside. Tip Top Thomas. Tip Top Thomas on the Indiana Derby. Publisher and instant replay in track record time of 1:41.15 seconds.
Tip Top Thomas for Chris Walsh. We know what he just did. It's a crush. All right, Chris, nice call. Wow, what a game effort by Tip Top Thomas. I mentioned I thought he was one of the more talented horses in this field. 5-2. Cole Battle ran better than I thought, to be very honest.
Me too. Maybe
Publisher looked like he had a little run, but he just didn't really want to go through the hole. And then Mike angled out. He just didn't have the horse. The big disappointment of this race by far is Big Truz at 2-1 favorite. Really not too many excuses. They were rolling up front. He just didn't really have it. I wonder if they're just going to go back to one turn with Big Truz. They gambled. It didn't work out. He's really talented, but maybe he just doesn't want to go the distance, Chris.
Howard, I think you can throw a lot of these races out because of the way the track is playing. I mean, this reminds me back, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago, Hollywood Park and Santa Anita, with the way the tracks were set up then, where just, if like Trevor Denman would be like, and another track record, right? You would just get these things over and over and over again. And I think today was that kind of setup. But I would be wary of, looking at the 6 next out where he goes and playing that horse. But 5-2, I think, with a square enough price at a win bet, which was somewhat a saver. Had a good day, but that one kind of made it a bit better. And nice way to finish the day. Hopefully Noah had that one and he hits the last one. And I'll be following that as we are off the air. And here comes Kyle.
The shake of the head, Tip Top Thomas. I don't know if the track carried him, but I'll tell you what, Chris had it. So good for Chris. Kyle, Big Truz just gets story of your day, man. I mean, just I don't, he got a good trip. They were going pretty hot up front. Maybe he just doesn't want two terms, man. He just didn't fire at all. Just wasn't his
Yeah,
day.
like I said, it's just, take a chance on him, and I'll switch the camera around here as Tip Top Thomas runs back in front of me. You look back, Johnny V, it's about as easy as that. But he ran super. I mean, Big Truz doesn't want two turns. Like you said, he got the trip we talked about. He sits right off the speed if they go quick. That's been the track the whole couple days has been, 23, 46, 109. It's super dry, super hard out here. So at the end of the day, speed prevails as it has all week. And this is when you look back on it, you're like, that was stupid.
Well, I thought Big Truz certainly had a shot. I didn't like Colbell actually ran much bigger than I thought. I got to give him credit. Yeah. Instant replay was disappointing. Publisher, man, this horse is driving me crazy. I think I'm finally off the train. I mean, he got a really nice trip. If I were to nitpick, I don't know if you like Publisher or watching. He made a really big middle move. Like, I'm not really sure why. I think Mike Smith figured this track is playing to speed, and so he had to get up there. But to me, I'd rather him be up there earlier. Like, I don't like the rush up and then try to move again. I'd rather him either be right off the speed from the start or just take back and make a move. But the middle moves the middle move and then the attempt to close doesn't usually work very well. It looked like he had room, Kyle, on the inside, but he couldn't get through, and then he angled out. He just wasn't good enough. I probably just had enough of him, but he just won a hell of a lot of money for a maiden. How about Brother Kenny at 60-1 getting third to fill out the try, Kyle? Wow.
I mean, it's local connections. It's awesome for them. My dad met, I believe, an owner of Brother Kenny this morning at breakfast, and he's like, we're trying. We got a chance, and he's been. He said Bill Morley was very high on him, and obviously, Bill Morley knows a lot more than the rest of us. So he ran super. It's just, and again, he was another one that closed a little bit on this track where, hasn't had a whole lot of it. So he ran great, and like you said, Publisher was one of those that.
Talk to the handler. Bring him over to the rail so we'd see that. No,
right. Okay. He's listening to someone behind me.
Right.
He's got bigger orders than I do.
Nice looking horse. He is actually a little longer than I thought. He's a little more angular than I thought. He doesn't really look like a sprinter necessarily.
No, and like I said, they took a chance in here, and we'll see where he goes next. Like you said, Howard, I agreed with you that if he was to win a graded stakes this year going two turns, this would be the one. It'll be interesting to see where Todd Pletcher puts him next.
Kyle, we'll let you go. Any final thoughts? I'm sure you had a great time there. Please say hi to your dad. If you happen to see Brian Aragoni on the way out, please tell him that I say hello if you haven't done that already. Brian Aragoni does a great job there. And I know it didn't work great for your pocketbook today, but I'm sure the beers were flowing and it was a beautiful day. And look, a bad day at the track is a good day anywhere else, right?
I mean, absolutely. And we got some cool things in the works coming up for these shows. Hint on Haskell Day, might be able to do a little bit extra there, but a little breaking news. But yeah, better, like you said, a bad day at the track's a good day anywhere else. As good of a day anywhere else. And we move, Howard. Guess what? We'll be back again next week.
All right. Thanks a lot for reporting, Kyle. Safe travels, please. Take care, my friend. We'll talk soon.
Will do. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Kyle Roscoe, 2 weeks in a row now, Chris, even though this is our official, first episode, but that we have personnel live at the track. Pretty cool. We appreciate this is now look, I know that some people don't like playing pick fives, and that's totally fine. People don't want to play it. That's all good. Let me tell you the prices, Chris, of this pick five. So Encino wins at basically even money to start the leg, right? Then Willie D, who was 8-5, very logical. We all liked him, obviously. Then you have the bomb, right? So let's just say you construct a ticket and you spread in that race, you get your $48 Royal Justice, right? You go 8, you can get the Albon. What the hell, right? Then you got Cleat Coat, who I would have singled if I had played actually I did play it, but I didn't have the 5. And then you have this horse who's very logical. The pick 5, Chris, pays almost $1,300 for 50 cents with basically 3 even money-ish shots and Tip Top Thomas at a bomb. 1,300. Yeah. I mean, you've talked about this. We've talked about this a lot on the show. It's all about ticket construction. No, I didn't have it. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you liked a lot of these favorites and you just you spread in the right race, I mean, you can hit for a lot of money in these sequences.
Yeah, and Tip Top Thomas, I mean, 6-1 morning line, and I felt like that was kind
Good
of
point.
egregious, right? And he ended up going off at 5-2. The second choice with 2 horses at 2-1 as the favorites, but it all comes down to opinions and not trying to go overdo it, right? We see all of these tickets online and everything else where people go way too much money, and they're just trying to be right and not trying to, be correct in terms of, making money on those things, which is why the pick 5, the pick 6, the pick 4s shouldn't be your go-tos, right? Like when you can get Tip Top Thomas at 5-2 there, which, had a better than average chance in terms of, my personal win percentage on that to win, then you're in a good spot. And 5-2 is not bad. I mean, 5-2 is better in Kentucky than it is in Indiana because you get the penny breakage, right?
Breakage, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
I didn't have a chance. I want to slightly apologize to everyone in the chat. It's very hard to maneuver 4 tracks and Kyle and talk about the races and then show a lot of because I don't have a producer. It's all me. So I mean, Chris has done a great job helping, but Chris, we'll talk about this. Maybe we'll have some more people get some more things up from the chat as we go along here. But Chris, this is what I'm talking about. Chris Couples from Mike Smith on Publisher. Middle move, then wait, then ask again. These are not cars. Yeah, Chris. I mean, I look. I have never won a race in my life, and Mike Smith's a Hall of Famer. But I don't love that. But a lot of great people in the chat. Chris said happy 4th. A bunch of people wanted to compliment you on the good call, Chris. Also, that was a track record, by the way, at Saratoga. That was the correct call by me as well. Terry Frank, thanks, HHH Fun Show. Look, we're going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just say a few things in closing. Actually, Chris, why don't you wrap up? Anything today come to mind? You had some nice winners. Great job. Everyone stay on here if you're watching just for another about a minute or two. I'd greatly appreciate it as we wrap it up. Chris, any final thoughts? Any best favorite winners you had today, or horses that just blew you away watching these races today?
I'm not going to focus on the horses. I want to focus on the people, our supporters. Gary Slayton, Ben, John Gilpatrick, Gilly Capper here, Bob Segura, Sylvain, Katie Thoroughbred Racing Fan 29, Bob Jackson, Chris Couples, Mike Wiz, who's been with me for a long time, Bob Jackson, Terry Frank, of course, Brad Anderson, Noah in here. Happy to have Matt on as well. Sylvain again, Terry, Frank. It's just good to see all you guys in here. I mean, we try and do a quality show, give you guys opinions, give you guys good betting options, with some level of handicapping and in terms of betting and things like that. And, we don't overload you with bloated pick 5s and all that kind of stuff. It's like, keep it simple, stupid, and just try and make, what you can off of these races and be a successful player without just dumping tons of money on things, Howard. I mean, that's my perspective with this. I'm happy to rep my Pocket Stables t-shirt, a polo. I board my horse over there next door, next to my community, Ida Paquette. Raced at Tampa on the East Coast for 40 years. She's retired and takes good care of the horse. And we've got a right foot issue, but we'll get that squared away and kind of go from there. But thanks everybody for joining, and we'll be back here and doing this again next Saturday with all the fun tracks.
Very well said, Chris. Let me just say a few things as they're wrapping up the last race at Saratoga, as Captain Jack Sparrow is trying to get by a 15-1 shot as they're about to turn. I'll just do my quick. You got Let's Get Wired, the number 2. Captain Jack Sparrow on the outside, who's 9-5, is about to take the lead and looks like is going home and cooled out. All of a suddenly with Pratt is trying to make it around the outside. This race is completely over. The number 11, who people gave me crap for all week for picking Captain Jack Sparrow, wins for fun at 9-5. And by the way, would have capped Matt's double in the contest because remember he singled that horse. I had someone in the chat, Chris. I'll end with this. I'm not going to mention names, Someone below the video player gave me a whole bunch of crap for me saying on the show Thursday that I thought Captain Jack Sparrow was actually a more likely winner than Nitrogen. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I was not great today on the show. I'm going to admit it. We are very honest on the show and transparent. I've had plenty of good winners in my life and contest plays, and today just wasn't my day. But I did say Thursday, and I obviously just happened to be right on this case, that I thought Captain Jack Sparrow in a main claiming event, Chris, was more likely than a grade 1 winner in Nitrogen. And look, that's how this game is, man. I happen to be right about that. So to that person who gave me crap below the video player, I got you on this one. I'm sure next time, sir, you will be right. Chris, I want to thank everyone for watching. It's been a lot of fun. Again, our goal is to educate, right? Educate and have fun. And that's what we want to do. Chris, nice job. You had some winners today. I had some close winners, but most importantly, hope we brought a lot of fun and enjoyment and entertainment. We plan on being next week. Again, what you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe. Hit that subscribe button on the top right-hand side screen of YouTube. Hit the notification bell and smash that like button. And then please look into our Power Pick tip sheet. You can go to our website, hhhracingpodcast.com. We've got Saratoga only, Delmar only, and a combo, Saratoga and Delmar, where there's a nice discount if you buy both of those. We have the entire podcast is involved in writing those. And then we have our regular Friday tip sheet. Look below the video player and go to Patreon for our regular Power Pick tip sheets that come out on Saturday. It's been a lot of fun. It's been our first one, Chris, for Weekend Warriors, for my good friend Chris Walsh, and for Matt Miller, Jax Muniz, Kyle Roscoe, and the rest, and Noah Maher, who's hopefully winning the contest in Twin Spires. This has been your host, Howard Kravitz. It's been episode 1 of Weekend Warriors right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. We'll see you next week. Crush your bets the rest of the weekend. Take care, everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
If you have not followed his Triple H Horse Racing podcast, you're missing out. It's one of the best podcasts in the country.